Good evening, night, good morning, good afternoon. This is the Titans. Remember, people. Right man, go upon our studying. So we're gonna start the Titans like this at the time being because I want him. The Titans upon 1 year. 1 year. Yeah? So you know how we're gonna start the Titans, just take a keen look. Because tonight, well at him. When we say at, well at. We'll take a look back in at some little things with, when them come over the other day with some legal minds and things with Dan Jack similar. And then, we're gonna go through. And we want to say something to Darrell Falls. We'll put up something and say it. One of my legal mind just said something. I will put it up. I will say it to him. Kind of no sense. Yeah? And him run out and him say the thing I talk about him get back this. So I'm gonna talk to like that him so stupid. Yeah, I tell you, you're stupid, you're stupid. Yeah? You and your liar, I better go lay some egg. Stop on business. I mean, I know, your feet say you talk to nobody not gonna talk to you, I tell you this and that. You're mad? You're a joker. We're gonna put up something and we're gonna teach you something. Another day, yeah? All right. Make us start the show now. Start. I'm gonna listen this. Listen a verse on ya. Because right now I'm gonna do it on you right now, Because that's study. But listen a verse on the Titan. Titans, not worry about it. 1 a.m.
Start packing because you are going.
I lied.
Well, go on, brother.
Well, I'm there, brother. You say, hey, well, me like that you start packing. I want to be about it. You say, we got him, You say, the Titans grab him. We go film him, we go film in a real life. Can we grab him, we only say, Yeah? But we never have no shackle for shackle up him not skill because, you know it already. Yes, the Prime Minister dangerous.
Very, very, very dangerous.
And
yes. When you look and see the, defense where he might try to put forward in a film case, that not work out. You must say the IC not act independent. The IC is an independent body. We go after it's there to go after any and everyone.
Yes.
Who foul play a corruption. You understand? So I mean, we not see no substance in a way, must say right now, because him is a goddamn liar as you proclaim him to be from the outset, the liarest man of the world. The man lie upon everything all went down. The man been asked a question whether he's under investigation or any of his member. Him deny it categorically, no. Him not aware of himself or anyone. But now the thing come out, him a run to the justice people. There's no justice for him right now in this circumstance, because this past justice, this gone beyond justice. This is what you call act of atrocity when come upon Jamaica and Jamaicans. Woman abroad. The man embarrassed the man. Big time. The man sink with moral and with image, And when him a run off go India, that is a or come up plan trip, to take the heat off him, When feel like India is a cold climate country, India is tropical. Yeah? India is a tropical country, so the heat is still on. And you go over there turn gardener boy. A plant and water tree. Goddamn shame. That mean nobody never invite you. You just turn up on the people and back step. You understand? Cause on the front door this now. If you don't get invited, you go through the front door. The back door you go through and the man see and call you and, you know, give a water can, a whole rusty one. And a fork and say plant a thing called chopper. Yeah, cause we have to take out the M out of the word there, you know. That tree a plant called chopper. So as long as that tree in existence, that tree stands symbolic called of Andrew Holness, the man who planted it as a chopper. The Indian Prime Minister know what I do. Welcome.
Yes.
We are hold you. You bring in Kenny Benjamin with you. And Chris Gale. And Gale, move yourself from around them, man. You tarnish your image and your reputation worldwide, man. You're the universal boss, you know. You're not the universal chopper. Don't par with no chopper, man. You're a sportsman, man. Don't get caught up in them politics where the GLP them are playing. You know, be a PR I go around. But Chris Gale can do it. I don't like you go down there to go, you know, promote a cricket series between West Indies and India. Where you going down there going do? That goddamn shame is supposed to stay home and face the table in the House of Parliament. Because you know the opposition is going to table the motion for you. You understand? You run away. Because once you know that they can't read out, you know. You understand? So at time you buy and we know it because you PR them or something. We log on for them thing a long time. Because we know you're a master of PR. You understand? But as PR rubbish.
Yeah.
And the one day you master. Because PR coming out in some different category, you know. But you would have just for the rubbish.
Yeah.
You understand? Go around and tell be a lie. Oh, this. Go on, brother. Yes, mistake. Yeah, man.
Yes, you know.
Well, I tell you.
You grab him up, you know. Yeah, remember, you know, go on your saw. Titans, you go feel myself.
We have to tell me about the new thumbnail, man. The new thumbnail, bad enough.
One name.
You see, the new thumbnail, bad.
I can go with it. Wicked man, eh? No, it's shot. No, because we are going to film, you know. Remember what I can, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah, and we say, that word fast run out when people attack. And I want to put up this, and when I want to read this, I want to put it up. Right? Hold on. But I want to read that for me there. Because this is the word fast. We run out and time. Let me say, we can go it up close. I want to see it. Hold on. Let me say.
You not get legible yet.
All right. Send time up there.
This one secret. Hold on. I want secret here.
Okay, yeah, it's second. Yeah, truth is an absolute defense against libel or defamation. Public officials are open to more scrutiny because of the power and resources they hold on behalf of the people. No threat of lawsuits should prevent the opposition party from advancing itself into state power.
So in company lawsuit something, no, it's a minister this. I talk to a minister. Where am I supposed to do this? Now, in the have the book, I just say the 201. It around him now, who may talk to me lawyer. Your book have 201. You know, oh, me get a 10 year. We no business never get 10 year. Go show with the 10 year. And that can't stop from show the 201. It means something.
But him couldn't get a 10 year. When? Him couldn't get a 10 year with a 201, you know. 201 is a little visit thing, you know, basically.
I'm going to business that have 10 years. Why in the first place? What you say? The State Department make a mistake and give a 212 in your thing. You feel so? Now we are telling that. Eh? Don't you have some people get pardoned, don't it? Eh?
Yeah.
You're a public figure, though. You're a minister. You're not above criticism. Just go and sit down, go and lay some egg. So film defense all the time now. No talk to me lawyer. Someone want a lawyer, pedophile. Push them up and run them way too. You can't stop nobody from talking about you, know, live private life. Okay? Yes. So I could tell you that straight. Yes, brothers. Yeah, man.
Yes.
So more push up that thing here because we knock back on the whole thing there now. Because I know I'm not get 1 cent out of time, 12.7 million US. But yet still the Prime Minister, I see him get paid over and over again. Eh? It's a goddamn disgrace. And then I beg the court. I remember watch where the all angles thing. I remember put up a little part of it. And then we chop it at the thing right away, yeah?
All right, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Relation to the Integrity Commission. What is that really? What does it mean? And later on in the program, does Jamaica need a new law dealing with something called unexplained wealth orders to help fight financial crime? We're going to be hearing from University Professor Shazida Ali, also from the National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, and the opposition spokesperson, Senator Peter Bunting, spokesperson on security. First, though, I need to start with an apology. On last week's show, in a discussion about business partners and conflict of interest in government, a guest referred to former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson as well as Dr. Vin Lawrence, leaving the impression that they had been business partners and that those conflict of interest issues related to them. We want to make it clear Mr. Patterson and Dr. Lawrence were never business partners and no such conflict of interest issues could therefore apply. We want to apologize to you if you were left with that impression and to apologize unreservedly to both Mr. Patterson and Dr. Lawrence for the embarrassment this has caused them. Let me go now to a report by Andrea Chisholm following Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives. Now, opposition members walked out of the House after opposition leader Mark Golding had been blocked from moving a motion relating to what Prime Minister Andrew Holness had said about his statutory declarations.
When opposition leader Mark Golding rose to move the motion, House Speaker Juliet Holness excused herself from the sitting, leaving her deputy Heroy Clark to preside over the matter.
Whereas there is a ministerial code of conduct in place from 2002 that governs the conduct of members of the cabinet, and whereas the Prime Minister did not inform the people of Jamaica that he was being investigated by the integrity.
Member, please.
I don't even need to hear another word. If the member in any way intends to go down a road that is, you can't understand if you don't listen. Permit yourself to use your ears and not your mouth. If it is that the member intends...
Let me stop it, people. This guy wants to use the ears and not the mouth. I want them to tell the cleaner from up in a St. Thomas the same thing. Because she has said use him mouth more than in ears too, you know. And it's a house cleaner. I want every wife know about that cleaner. That house will be up there, you know. Yes. So I'm using mouth more and then it cause a house. So I want them for government money and build that house. All the money I come out and pack it. Yeah? Them too enough. Them guy continue.
To travel down a road that is going to breach the standing orders in raising matters, let me just say it before, that are sub judice. Hold on, I'm just telling you, that cannot be accommodated in this House.
Member, you start on a premise, and as far as the standing order is concerned, I hear the first part of where you're going.
Deputy House Speaker Heroy Clark used Section 22.3 of the Standing Orders, stating that the motion being moved by Mr. Golding is out of order. He also used the UK Parliamentary Handbook Erskine May to state that matters before the courts cannot be raised in a motion.
UK Handbook.
So it emerged yesterday that what the House Speaker, the Deputy House Speaker, was speaking about was an application that Prime Minister Andrew Holness had filed in the Supreme Court seeking leave to apply for judicial review of some of the decisions that had been made and actions taken by the Integrity Commission in relation to his statutory declarations and an investigation report that was sent to Parliament in relation to those declarations. What does all this mean? And the whole sub judice issue, which is something I have a big problem with, but Anthony Williams here in studio with me to help us with some of this. Thank you so much. Appreciate your coming in.
Thank you, Leanne.
So let's start with judicial review and what it is. And the Prime Minister has filed an application for leave to apply for judicial review. So explain to us what's that all about.
All right. So judicial review basically is a legal process in which a litigant, such as the Prime Minister of Jamaica or any other litigant, can apply to the court seeking redress in relation to a matter that he feels aggrieved about. So, for example, in this particular case, he's saying that a certain decision was made in relation to the Integrity Commission or the Director of Investigations making certain pronouncements that the matter should be sent to FID. And so he is trying to prevent that from happening. And so the issue of constitutionality, illegality arises. And
so if you're Prime Minister, why you prevent that unless you hide some money and hide some and think the wealth where you can't talk about? A Prime Minister want to prevent that from over the field. You hear this?
And so what he seeks to do is to apply to the court for certain orders, and we will talk about them further, certain orders in relation to judicial review, basically to review or to rule that the IOC, its servants and our agents should not proceed in a certain manner. So therefore, certain decisions were made, and when you're doing a judicial review, you're asking the court to look into the actions or the decisions of those,
the way in which those decisions
of the way in which those decisions were made. Now, we must make it very clear that in law there are certain axiomatic, or should I say fundamental or pivotal principles on which someone can apply for judicial review. The litigant, and in this case the Prime Minister, he would have to prove to the court a number of grounds. One, anyone, that there's some illegality that occur.
How the Integrity
Commission went about it. It could be that they acted ultra vires. I'm just stating the general grounds, that they acted ultra vires.
Outside their powers.
Outside of their powers, or they acted within their powers but abused the process, or they took into account irrelevant considerations, or relevant considerations that should have been taken into account were not taken into account. Those are just some of the grounds.
Okay, one of the important things, though, is that it's a two-step process.
Yes.
So you can't go straight to judicial review. You have to ask the court for permission to apply for judicial
review. And
review.
what that simply means is that the court, before it grants leave, the court must be satisfied. The litigant must convince the court that there is a prima facie case, a case that on the merit worth judicial review. And if the court is of the opinion, based on the evidence that is presented before it, is not sufficient, it does not meet the threshold of these grounds, the abuse of process, the ultra vires, the constitutionality, the illegality, then the court is going to say, sorry, you have not passed the first hurdle. You have to pass the first hurdle in order for us to grant you leave.
Right.
And the court,
weeding out the full case.
Oh yeah. So in other words, it's like putting some clothes in the dryer, and you're blowing out the what do I call it? The puffs. Yes. You have to make sure. Right. So the court wants to make sure that there is a prima facie case, sufficient evidence to move it, to grant you leave, to go to the full court to
Yeah, and the court, in fact, isn't shy about refusing leave in some cases.
In many cases.
So I was looking, for instance, back at the case in which Ian Hales had sought judicial review of a decision of the Integrity Commission.
Yes, and was refused.
That
is correct. So we want the public to know, including any politician, and the Prime Minister is not excluded, or the leader of the opposition, whoever they may be. Once you apply to the court for judicial review, then it means that you must have fundamental grounds to ground that application. Otherwise, it's a no-no. Then we come to the issue of sub judice, which is what Minister Pernell Charles Jr. mentioned. And what is sub judice? Sub judice was formulated from as way back as 1742 in a case called the St. James Evening Post, in which Lord Howick, in that particular case, remember, 1742, that's way back. And he said sub judice simply means that the court will cite someone for contempt if someone seeks to comment on a case unmeritoriously or expresses their opinion in such a manner that seeks to influence the court or to bring the court into disrepute or to interfere with the legal principles. In other words, the integrity of the justice system must be kept intact. But there are some fundamental rules in terms of sub judice. People are of the opinion, or some person of the opinion, that you can't comment on a case.
Yeah.
And that's not true. You can. However, the fundamental principle is that there must be fair comment.
Mm-hmm.
You must exercise no malice, and you must not import any facts, and you must ensure that the integrity of the justice system maintains. In fact, the essence of the sub judice rule, is to provide a safeguard to ensure that the justice system remains intact.
Yeah, it's being used to stifle public debate, in my view, in many cases.
In many cases. This sub judice principle really is described by many lawyers and other counsel in other jurisdictions as both elusive and evasive. Elusive in the sense that people seek to try to avoid it, and evasive in the sense that they try to use it to their advantage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in this case, we heard the deputy speaker shutting down the motion of the opposition leader, saying, no, it's now before the court, it's sub judice.
Yes.
We can't talk about it.
I do not agree with that statement.
Mm-hmm.
I do not agree because for a number of reasons. One, it was said in Parliament, and so the parliamentarians have parliamentary privilege. Two, sub judice, as I said, means that you cannot unfairly, unmeritoriously comment on a case and give your own evaluation, analyze it critically or non-critically with a view to prejudice the integrity of the case. In fact, in several cases, even in the Oscar Pistorius case in South Africa, right? The trial judge made it very clear when she heard that there were several media houses who were going to analyze the case and give an interpretation. The learned judge said, no. Only one tribunal, only one judge will be the analyst in this case, and the analyst will be the court. So basically, the statement is not correct in the sense that as long as there is fair comment, you are not exceeding the boundaries, you are not importing facts, then it is okay. And furthermore, parliamentary privilege.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much, Attorney Anthony Williams there, walking us through some of the issues. I know there will be lots.
All right, brother, you hear this? So, them come up with the foolishness where the court got that. Because like Holness now, after all these things, we have the money laundering, we have the all kind of things, he knows trading and everything. The man I run to the court and like him and say, court, protect me now. That means them not ask me nothing and the illicit thing, just protect me and say this, that and that and me have protect me. I make me keep what me have and me not have to chat to nobody. If the court in a Jamaica, you don't say them make a mistake and say, make we grant it, we should not happen. Then you see the little money way now, the little bit, all that them that go and go chop and nobody gonna send them to them because you couldn't ask them where them get money from or nothing. Because them a part of captain brother. They are criminal. Yeah? Yeah, man. Yes, brother, take it away. Turn on your mic.
Mistake.
Sorry about that, people. First, I want to big up all the persons in the chat, right, both locally and internationally. Big up to the panel. You understand? Lonesome. Big up, Lied. Big up. It's always a pleasure to be here, honestly. Really a pleasure to be here. And, again, big thanks to Wayne, you understand, to create the Titan for purposes like these, that we have to defend the rights of our people. Now, with that said, now my panel and people who are tuning in, this is embarrassing to say the least. When I say embarrassing, it is so embarrassing because I am wondering if the Prime Minister doesn't realize that international entity, right, outside the boundaries of Jamaica, based on what the Prime Minister is doing as it relates to seeking what we call judicial review, right? The international community must shock. Locally, right? People are just, it is just jaw-dropping, right? I mean, we in the diaspora is saying that, okay, if the Prime Minister is doing this, the Prime Minister is saying to us all, both internationally, locally, diaspora, saying all to everyone that here am I am guilty. I am guilty. The Prime Minister made this effort in terms of want to utilize a judicial review, right? So in order to prevent trying to ask the court, basically, right, to stop the investigation to proceed, to stop FID from proceed with the investigation. This is just crazy. This is just crazy. Now, the crux of the matter, right, is that what we are seeing unfolding in front of our very eyes, right, although it is jaw-dropping, is that the government, particularly where Andrew Holness is concerned, asks the Jamaican people, asks the electorate to, one, have confidence in him, two, put him in as a Prime Minister, because as according to him, he has the ability and the capability, right, to rule the country. Andrew Holness promised good governance. But to the contrary, we have been witnessing something different. Now, this case, as it's unfolding, when you look on the various parts that are unfolding, you realize that what seems to be apparently clear is that some premeditated execution was done prior to the alleged allegation, right, of what we are seeing as it relates to the Integrity Commission report. I want to be very careful, very tactical tonight, right, and make sure you understand I stay in tune and in line. Now, why am I saying that it appears to be premeditated? If you have a government who wanted to lead with some level of integrity and good governance, there wouldn't be any hesitation to sign the code of conduct. I want people to follow me. So then if you are saying to yourself that I have integrity, I have morals, and I am going to stand by my ethical principles of good governance, then you wouldn't just want to deny, reject, refuse, move away from signing the code of conduct. Because the code of conduct, right, is there to ensure that you make a promissory note to the Jamaican people that you will be one, honest. Well, my Jamaican people, obviously, what we have witnessed, what has coming out of the Integrity Commission report is more than devastating to the Prime Minister. Let me say this to Andrew Holness and any member of Parliament who are centers around Andrew Holness and try to defend Andrew Holness. The fact of the matter, you cannot defend the indefensible. Andrew Holness cannot be defended. The wrongdoing that Andrew Holness alleged to have committed, he had committed that against the Jamaican people. Serious atrocities. Now, when you look at Andrew Holness' knowledge, people, let us just go there tonight. When we look at Andrew Holness' knowledge of what transpired as it relates to the 1995 financial meltdown, if Andrew Holness, right, was an honest person, in my subjective opinion, Andrew Holness would have never joined SSL, let alone more, involved so deep that it appears, we know for sure that Andrew Holness and others who benefited from SSL, as opposed to the multi people who have lost their money. So then basically what I'm saying is that, again, it would appear, based on allegation, that Andrew Holness, along with Hugh Croskery, along with Nigel Clark, reinvent Paul Cheng Young and Associates that we now call SSL to execute another financial meltdown 2.0 as it relates to 1995. Several times on Andrew Holness' campaign, the wickedness and the cruelness of Andrew Holness. Several times on his campaign, he's telling people, spreading the propaganda, that it is PNP who caused the financial meltdown. PNP who caused the financial meltdown. The viciousness. And let us remember that the two primary persons who caused the financial meltdown is Dan Crawford
Siaga
and Edward Philip George Siaga.
Yep.
And Paul Cheng Young. Yep. Three persons who caused it.
Kazu was there too, yeah? Kazu was there with Paul Cheng Young.
Yes. Four persons caused it.
Yes.
4 persons, Jamaica, caused the financial meltdown. Some people nickname it as FinSac, but FinSac was the policy that implemented by Omar Davis, right, to recoup some of the money, right?
The people, because I could just tell them this, brother. So exactly. You don't lose everything because you have some unsecured loan and you borrow money against your house. And when you look this, the amount to take it away because you can't pay back the loan, it balloon up. So you're going to lose everything. So when the government come in and do, them can't do all of that fail. So them come in and make you can recoup back something. So the JLP now seized upon that and flip it with propagandas and spread lies and talk about FinSac like FinSac did come and take your thing. This is garbage. This coming like 2000 exactly. Obama and the industry then nearly fall and them have to come and take it over and then straighten it over back. That are the motor industry. Yes, act straight. You know, two better. Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
So, as a result of that situation, many people suffered the consequence. But people need to understand, and let me tell people, this was the reason as to why FSC was implemented. This financial meltdown, this is what, right, Omar Davis, right, and Omar Davis, right, and I'm just not getting the name now, but Omar Davis was a part of you know, the policy making as it relates to create FSC, right?
Yes.
And one of the reasons why FSC created now was to now manage non-banking sector like, you know, SSL, to ensure that, right, one of the policy that go against them, they are not allowed to give out loans. Remember, people, they are not allowed to give out loans, right? So so these investment companies registered under FSC as non-banking entity. They are not supposed to give out loan. Interesting. So in terms of me saying this, you know, it is interesting how the Prime Minister Andrew Holness got a loan from Berita, you know, but we're going to touch that later. You understand? We'll put that aside, right? So then, when you look, right, here we are today, looking back in the rear view mirror on 1995. I am saying as it relates to the awareness of the Prime Minister. So now that I explained the thing from 1995, the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, who came into, right, the political atmosphere 1997, would have known about the FinSat meltdown, would have known the history surrounding you, Croskery, right? Would have known Paul Cheng Young and Associates, right? That Croskery change and try to reformatize it into SSL. So I want people to understand where we are going. Now, why the Prime Minister? The question. Why the Prime Minister of our person would have known the history of SSL, but yet in 2008 joined SSL, and also in 2008 created ADMAT in St. Lucia. Why was ADMAT created? Well, two primary reasons. One, tax evasion. Two, could it be illicit enrichment purposes?
That's it.
All right. Now, yes. So, people, let us get back as we talk about the original sin, where the Prime Minister, right, during the period of time that the Prime Minister created ADMAT, the timeline of the investigation, right, centers around the Prime Minister and ADMAT and SSL. I want people to look, right? So let us come into the ring of fire. The ring of fire is between the duration period 2006 to 2009. Within that period, particularly 2008, SSL was created, ADMAT was created. Now, we have seen that the Prime Minister tried to justify $47 million into the system. We know, because we have gone through that and know that the Prime Minister cannot justify that $47 million. So the Prime Minister, where would the Prime Minister get that $47 million from? Where would the Prime Minister, people, Jamaican people, follow me. Where would the Prime Minister got that $47 million from? For people who might just what Mystic Sensation is talking about $47 million. The Prime Minister had done an interview in 2016 with Abta Fitz-Henley and said he brought in $47 million right into the politics. We know that the Prime Minister came into the political arena in 1997 and he graduated from the university 1994. So he has 2 years that he worked with charity. The Prime Minister told lie that he got the money from a taxi service. So people must understand why the Prime Minister doesn't want this investigation to go to FID. Because FID is going to get back there. So that 47 million, right, when we look and when we investigate, there is no taxi service, no the leader taxi service that was created between the period 1995 and 1996. So then the Prime Minister reason, right, to have that $47 million is null and void because there was no taxi service that the Prime Minister have, that he told lie, right, that he got the $47 million through his taxi service. Can you imagine, people? 2 years worth of taxi service and $47 million. Oh my. Anyway.
Baron, just think of it. Enough people have them taxi.
Yes.
Imagine him can get 2 years of taxi service and make 47 million. And that's better than enough bus people, though.
Crazy.
For the business people. People can hardly survive with them car. Them have a one car and can hardly survive and he make that. Remember, I married 1997.
Exactly.
I couldn't even buy food.
Exactly.
Wife talking. Because, you know, him wife and him, and when him wife come talk something and match it no match. Then he make an interview. Yeah, just the other day, he make an interview. And when he make the interview, him said in 2002.
Yes.
If he did bank 1,000 US, him have right now, him have like 30,000 that make, but him couldn't find 1,000, never have the money. So
okay.
Remember say that and the lightest thing on earth, you know, wherever I walk the face of the earth. And they might laugh, but him was a serpent to trick Eve.
Exactly.
He was a serpent and Holness.
Yes.
That's him lie and deceitful.
Exactly.
Continue, Byron.
So then, with Andrew Holness now, let us move up as it relates to what we call the timeline investigation as it relates to the illegal awarding of contract.
Mm-hmm.
So then, by me explaining that, people would wonder, but the only way he could make some money then, if, you know, he's doing some bandolo thing, you understand, you know, like, you know, but it would appear as if Gavin, right, would be the inch person, right, where Gavin contract was awarded to Gavin via the Ministry of Education, that Andrew Holness was the Minister of Education, right? And as such, as it relates to his influence, right, to the fact that he had known Gavin over 20 odd years, people. No Gavin over 20 odd years. Gavin got over $20 odd million worth of contract. And then when we investigate, right, those were not the only contracts that Gavin was doing. Gavin was doing even contract out of the Prime Minister constituency. Gavin was also doing contract in St. James, contract in Hanover, contract in Westmoreland, all over Jamaica. Gavin was doing contract. So then if you look, you see that it's a possibility where you understand, of course, $47 million can come from that. So let me speak keenly, you know, because we are skillful too, you know. So don't bother believe so people are going to set us up, you understand, and try to sue us. No, let me work. Yeah, let me
already.
Yeah.
We want to lie because if I look at every question, we will tell it to work.
Yes, we know how to walk. We know how to walk through fire and don't get burned.
And by the way, like, isn't the Prime Minister? It was the Education Minister at the time.
Yeah.
Samuel Greed was him advisor.
Yes.
Advisor.
Oh. You
All
see,
right.
Samuel Greed this way. How much money missing now and try because monkey see monkey do.
Exactly.
So
Right.
this way, the woman and them make him draw how much money, millions, and the woman draw how much millions. And she, and them get the book. I am same man, right?
All right.
Was Andrew only
Yeah, man.
this one more, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Andrew was the minister, yes, sir, right? Education minister. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what it would have appeared, right? That is it possible, right, as it relates to these many contracts given out to Gavin, right? You would have seen that it is possible that the Prime Minister may have accumulated, right, $47 million that can explain. Now, let us move now into the crime scene. So then, these contracts, right, being pursued as it relates to 2007. So then, how are we going to do this? Let us ask a question. Well, we need a shell company. Well, Patrick Bailey is handy. Patrick Bailey created the shell company, ADMAT. Now, okay, how are we going to do this? Now, it doesn't make sense we have ADMAT on the grounds of Jamaica because ADMAT would expose to investigation, right? If the Integrity Commission investigators get curious. So let us cover our tracks. Okay, let us move ADMAT off the shores of Jamaica where it is not accessible to investigators. So then ADMAT in St. Lucia, settle in St. Lucia, and now this is how we are going to do our thing. We are now going to use ADMAT to buy up properties. Remember, people, ADMAT was an holding company. Holding company. ADMAT did not have an account. And so then, you cannot see the confusion here. You understand that if ADMAT didn't have an account and ADMAT is a holding company, then why is it that ADMAT is buying up these properties? ADMAT buy Shenstone Drive. ADMAT buy the house of Beverly Hills. The first thing ADMAT buy was a large portion of the money that paid for the land at Beverly Hills came from SSL. Oops. No, we are leaving SSL.
Don't move, brother. So let me ask you a question again now.
Yeah.
So if ADMAT, can't tell company, you know, people, make not too worry about it. If you have a company and it don't have a bank account, it don't have no account.
Yes.
That means in a reality, and ADMAT buy these things. Or you get the money, spend it. And ADMAT buy these things.
Cash.
Oh, you have the name with ADMAT buying it, but it don't have it don't. How we get the brother? Just listen. When this just ADMAT don't have account, we have it here, you know.
Yes.
So you don't have account, and it don't have a workforce. Is that what it do? That means who buy these things? You buy these things under the disguise as ADMAT.
All right.
Who's spending the money?
Guess what? Guess what? These are the things that FID is going to find out. These are the things that FID, that's why when the Integrity Commission investigators is asking Andrew Holness, how you source the money? How you get the money? Andrew Holness refused to answer the Integrity Commission investigators over several months. Not only one day, over several months, right? The question repeatedly asking Andrew Holness to justify how he get the money. And people need to understand, as a result of Andrew Holness not able to explain how he get the money, the Integrity Commission has to now recommend the case to FID. So people, we need to understand why the case recommend to FID. And when Andrew Holness now realized that the case recommend to FID, Andrew Holness now is talking about, hey, judicial review, judicial review.
We don't want it. We don't want it.
Judge, can you help me here? Can you help me here? Judicial review. Hold on. We are come to you, Andrew. We are come to you, because you are, let me say this to you, Andrew Holness. You are the living devil. You are Lucifer.
True.
In personification. You, Andrew Holness, is Lucifer himself in living colors.
True.
Now, so then ADMAT now start to purchase up these properties. Right? And now we have seen that the Prime Minister now arms with over 28 accounts. And where you look, you see 4 accounts where over $400 million running through those accounts. Wow. Wow. Crazy. Now, when you look at this needs to be explained. Now, let us get to the art of the wickedness. No, sir.
Hey. TITANS.
Yeah, man. That a go on in Byron.
Yes.
Call to duty.
Let us try him into the public court of opinion. Because remember, everything that we spoke on so far, people have seen it revealing. So the people know that, okay, the TITANS, they are not playing. Mystic Sensation is not playing. Light is not playing. Lonesome is not playing. You get, so we get the picture.
You know Aaron play him shoot bullseye.
Everything that we spoke, we have seen the revelation of it. And remember that we have been speaking this long time before we have seen the Integrity Commission report. And everything that is out into the Integrity Commission report, we have been speaking on it. So please, people, allow us to continue to speak. So we are continuing to speak. So then, what you have seen right there is to the fact that ADMAT utilized for the first time in 2011. Let me remind people, the first time ADMAT activates its purpose. If you remember in 2011, Andrew Holness' house at Beverly Hills, when he paid for the land, he paid for the land in 4 transactions. So he did not have all the money. People, let us get back to the original crime. Andrew Holness did not have all the money, right? You know that we have showed the documents, and people saw the documents where Andrew Holness made 4 transactions in terms of paying for the land. Where did Andrew Holness get most of the money? Where did Andrew Holness get most of the money? Andrew Holness got most of the money from SSL. People, I want you to follow us tonight. Andrew Holness got most of the money from SSL to pay for the land. All right. Now, let us move on. Now, as it relates to SSL, let us look at SSL now, because we see how the thing moved from one stage to the next until we have connected SSL as it relates to the land that he purchased. So we connect SSL now. So let us jump over SSL. But before we jump over SSL, one would have understood now then why the Integrity Commission certify Andrew Holness statutory declaration in a them time then. Well, guess what? He lied to the Integrity Commission investigators. And the Integrity Commission investigators did not have any reason, you understand, to dig in, because there was no form of complaint. Remember how the investigate. So let us explain to the people how the Integrity Commission now would have you under focus. Someone would have to make a complaint. The complaint department would have to look on the complaint, validate the complaint that there are reason for the complaint to be followed up on. And so then they would send it to the Integrity Commission investigators, you understand, to investigate. The Integrity Commission would have investigated, and when they investigate, right, they would bring in the Attorney General, oh Jesus, I can't remember, but they will bring in the
DPP.
Yes. Arrow, bless up yourself.
Bless up, Arrow.
My brother.
Bless up, Arrow. Yeah, man.
Blessed.
All right, cool. So what would have happened now, you understand, of course, you know, but here we are with SSL. That investigation as it relates to Gavin being awarded contracts, right? That investigation was crushed because the corruption prosecutor decided that, okay, the process was lengthy and this and that and all very blah, blah, all sort of reason. You understand? Abuse of process. That's what she called. So let off Andrew Holness off the hook. But the truth be told, people, Andrew Holness cannot be let off the hook. Let us stop. Why Andrew Holness cannot be let off the hook? Right. Andrew Holness still have to file statutory declaration, and it appears as if Andrew Holness greed, right? He has not limited his greed. He still execute his greed. Now, remember now, you have SSL, right? So we reach at SSL where, obviously, right, he got that money from SSL. So now we are going to ask some questions about SSL. Now, when he got the money from SSL, let us move now to something important that is going to be unfold between the end of next week. Very serious. Now, what we have Usain Bolt, right? Came in SSL, right, in 2012. So people, I want you to follow us now. Remember that we have Andrew Holness purchased the land, right, in 2011, right, and made 4 transactions, and you understand, he didn't have all the cash. You understand? Remember, Usain Bolt never going to SSL until 2012. So Andrew Holness in 2011, you understand, salt and cash dry up. You understand, the cash them dry up, right? Now, so since the cash them dry up, right, the other means, let us turn to the other means now. So we in a SSL. Now what are going for SSL? Now, so Bolt put the money into SSL 2012. And little did Bolt know that as the moment he put the money into SSL, the money was stolen immediately. People, listen to me. I am just not speaking because we are speaking out of our mouth. We have the investigation that done and the evidence that told us that immediately Bolt put his money into SSL in 2012. Now, the money is stolen, right? Now, Bolt had put roughly over 600 and odd, right, million US dollars, right, into SSL. Now watch this, people. So after Bolt putting money in a SSL 2012, guess what happened in 2012? In 2012, remember that the Prime Minister who strapped for cash in 2011, money run out, right? Appears that someone fall from sky. It appears as if some angel visited Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness in 2012. So in 2012, let us assume that the angels from heaven visited them and bring great gifts and tidings and joy to them.
Fallen angel from hell.
right? Visit them,
Visiting,
right?
yes,
And
visit
so
them.
then, with that visit, it appears as if all of a sudden Andrew Holness have the cash to now start his house in 2012 and take 4 years to finish the house. So when he finished the house in 2016, this run a bell throughout the political atmosphere and create a firestorm on the People's National Party campaign. Dr. Peter Phillips said, no, man, no. You need to explain how you are building that big house. Remember, on the campaign trail, this was what Peter Phillips was being curious of. How this man just came into, you understand? I mean, into politics, right? Hardly spending any time in politics. Come from a humble beginning. When he was leaving university, he owed student loan, right? And now we are seeing, right, the man build a big mansion. What get the entire political atmosphere shocked was an evaluator evaluated Andrew Holness' house. And the evaluator came with a report and said the lease value is over 200 million Jamaican dollars. In US dollars would be 2.8 million US dollars. So Andrew Holness' house is, according to the evaluator, value over 200 million dollars Jamaica. Anyway, Andrew Holness said it's not. It doesn't value that. Well, $51 million me use and build that. And plus, I helped to build it too. Because me lay some of the stone. Now, Andrew Holness literally said that. I'm not joking.
Exactly.
Holness literally said what I just said to you.
All right, don't move, Byron. Byron, don't move. So we're going to play Holness. When Peter Phillips, we have the thing them all like play them. So we are talking about like play them and then we knock it same way. You knock
Exactly.
it. So we want to play him. What do I talk about the house and Batman? We need to give the people them this. I remember one of people. His wife never have the money neither because she get this and that. Yeah? Make up play it. Make up play it. Watch this.
People who know me know that I don't carry a grudge. I don't carry a grudge. But I'm human. So of course, I shook my head in disgust at what was being said and what was being done. And I was also disappointed in Peter Phillips, a man who I had great respect for, someone who I had a very good relationship with his family and his children and his grandchildren. I know his son Michael fairly well, and I know
people all they need to say this long talk. I don't say, listen, me get the money from me. So my work, I was at TITANS, my work 4.5 million a year, and I build me 300 million house in a space of like 2 years.
4 years.
4 years. So it doesn't make no sense. But I bet I say that my work 4.8 million per year at the time, or 5 million. I'm a build nearly 300 million house with that money. They stretch it like a genie, work magic pan it or something, I get a yes.
Yeah. Stretch it like
yeah, we must stretch it out in the answer. Listening.
Michael's children fairly well. They used to go to school with my children. So when I saw this kind of personal attack about me building a house in Beverly Hills and where I got the money from, I was really taken aback. Because I was never one to be involved in anything untoward. So I just thought that it was unbecoming of him because I held him in a higher order of esteem. And I think he has disappointed me and let me down personally.
Ask you where you get the money for build your house. Anybody that asks that? You hear this? Continue.
In terms of his behavior, it shows a kind of desperation and power hungriness that Jamaica does not need at this time. We decided to do what was more economical and what made sense. So with all these stones, we built walls, which makes sense.
People not so much stone up that stuff. Look at the man lie. You see the fortress? You see the double wall? So the bomb couldn't go up the way I look at it. Continue.
And some of the figures I've heard bandied about, ridiculous, because when you come to think of it, 90% of the cost of the stone wall is the excavation first and the stones. Now I had to excavate anyway, and when I excavate, I got stones. So
you excavate on a hilltop, and you can build up a wall where you excavate to get the stone from. Remember me, I build that way. Which part of excavate to get all these stones? This is how the guy lie, you know. Up on the top in there, you know. So you can build up around it, and like you dig it down. You can build up around it, you have to get the stone, buy the stone. Line at it. Continue.
The cost of the wall is minimal. Cements to joint the stones, and you know, cement, sand, and gravel to joint the stone. That's it. And I think that
you don't use cement, sand, and gravel to lay the stone. Impossible. Gravel. Yes. Can you cement, sand, and gravel and lay block?
Don't grab the line out.
Yeah. Continue.
managing the project ourselves saved a lot of cost. People don't know this, but you know, I actually laid some of the stones. I spent in the early time some, you know, supervising the work. My wife was there most of the time. It was very interesting. It made me, you see me losing a lot of weight and looking slim, and a lot of that was actually walking up and down the hill and supervising and mixing concrete, and you know, people don't know this either, that you know, I did woodwork at school as my technical.
Woodwork, that guy have a woodwork and he lay stone. He must go this. He do woodwork at school too. At school, you know. So he lay the stone them. And lay the stone with sand, cement and gravel. Lay them stone there. Yeah? Come on now. Yeah?
Subject, so I have a little knowledge of carpentry, and I found it a great.
Carpentry, lay the stone. I'm scared. So what carpentry? You hear this? I'm here to work we are talking about her now. And stone makes, you know, say you can't tap the stone and do your thing them good, right? You hear this? Carpentry. And you do woodwork. Okay.
Great relaxation.
All right.
Don't forget to continue with that guy here.
Yeah.
These are the lies them with this guy here. Continue.
Yeah. So there we have that, and thank you for playing that clip, Wayne, to show the people that we are on point in terms of what we are saying. You understand? Because he was saying that want to go against what the evaluator said. The evaluator said that the lease that house value was 200 million Jamaican dollars, right? You know, 2.8 million US dollars. So he was just trying to justify, telling lie, you understand, and try to reduce the cost in saying that, you know, his house value $51 million. And the reason for that, because himself personally participate, you understand, in laying, you understand, some of the stones, you understand, and labored, right, in that. Now, apart from that Andrew Holness, right, in 2012, all of a sudden, right, you know, all of that cash to build that house. We must bear in mind in parallelity that Juliet Holness was also starting her development in 2012. So significantly in 2012, what we have? Andrew Holness building a big house that an evaluator said, evaluated it for 200 million. And simultaneously in 2012, that Juliet Holness was beginning her development at lease flat. Now, at the current market value today, that house now value over $800 million, according to Juliet Holness herself. So then, the big question is, right, we are going to show you a next vicious lie being told. So we know that SSL being collapsed, right? We know as it relates to the Integrity Commission report where Andrew Holness, right, based on what the report is saying, would have gotten some return on investment via SSL. Now, people, we know for sure that SSL wasn't doing any investment. And as such, Andrew Holness could not, right, have gotten any return on investment. Because why SSL wasn't doing any investment, people follow me. In 2016, SSL was flagged by the FSC. When I look on everything, right, my subjective opinion is to tell the people in the public square today that FSC is complicit with the wrongdoing, right, and the covering up of SSL. Why FSC is complicit? Follow me, people, as it relates to the line of investigation right now. Now, SSL, remember that Andrew Holness joined SSL 2008. The first flag that SSL had gotten, right, was definitely in the People's National Party period, where the People's National Party flagged SSL of wrongdoing. Now, SSL was flagged in 2012. But people, let me explain this because this needs to be explained. But people need to understand that the whole contract thing with Andrew Holness, right between 2006 to 2009, who was the Prime Minister then? People need to understand that it was Bruce Golding. Bruce Golding was the Prime Minister. So all of this hanky-panky was taking place under Bruce Golding administration. Not only that now, so when people need to remember that when Bruce Golding come under pressure, Bruce Golding resigned 2011. Who take over 2011? Andrew Holness himself took over 2011. So bear in mind now, in 2012, as Portia Simpson went in, Portia Simpson's administration identified that SSL was carrying on with wrongdoing from way before under the Bruce Golding administration. So we don't want to get it twisted tonight, we have explained that. Because if you look on the time frame when Andrew Holness start to be investigated from is the period between 2006 to 2009. That is the Integrity Commission investigation. Who was running the country at the time? Bruce Golding. 2011, Bruce Golding resigned. Who was running the country? Andrew Holness. In 2012, Andrew Holness and Portia Simpson take off as it relates to the general election. Portia Simpson beat Andrew Holness. Now, the very first year, Portia Simpson, Mama Portia went in. Mama Portia administration flagged SSL for misappropriation of funds, right? And then the contractor general, you understand, were doing their little, you understand, surveillance and that issue. In 2016, Portia Simpson government got voted out, right? And 2016, when Andrew Holness now took over the reins of power. Now the FSC again flagged SSL 2016. So after SSL was flagged in 2016, right? Of course, it goes on the down low, right? FSC, after finding out all the wrongdoing of SSL under Andrew Holness-led government, did not stop SSL from functioning. That's why I said people must understand the reason why Byron is saying that SSL is a Ponzi scheme when SSL got a license to operate, right? And SSL is on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. It matters not whether it want to be registered by a government who we have now seen caught up with SSL. And the reason why I call SSL a Ponzi scheme, because what SSL was registered or licensed for, they did not execute that, which makes them illegal, which makes them becomes a Ponzi scheme. So people need to understand my terminology when I say that SSL is a Ponzi scheme, because what they are registered to do as it relates to being an investment entity and invest people money, they were not doing that. They were stealing people's money, and the authority knew about it. FSC knew all along that they were stealing money. So then what FSC did in 2016 under the hypocrisy of the Andrew Holness-led government, it was important now, people, for Nigel Clark, who had been a director in Andrew Holness' company prior to get into election. Nigel Clark was a director, right, in Positive Foundation, Jamaica Positive Foundation. Nigel Clark was a director in that. So then Nigel Clark come into the politics in 2018 as Minister of Finance. Nigel Clark could have gotten some of the information from Ardlishaw, because Ardlishaw was the Minister of Finance. So the handing over and taking over procedure, Ardlishaw would have, of course, brought that to Nigel Clark's attention. Nigel Clark would have been in awareness. What did Nigel Clark done now? Now look, let us go, people. So then the FSC now caught SSL in wrongdoing, right? The Prime Minister has an account in SSL. Now, let me ask one question. The Prime Minister know SSL, you understand the history of SSL. The Prime Minister would have known that SSL, right, owned by the Cross-Kerry, Hugh Cross-Kerry. Now, the Prime Minister would have known Hugh Cross-Kerry and know say Hugh Cross-Kerry linked with Paul Cheng-Young. And know that the 1995 Hugh Cross-Kerry and Paul Cheng-Young, you understand, were in court for that. And Paul Cheng-Young found guilty for what? Robbing investors' money, take the money and buy up properties in Florida, and where Cross-Kerry himself hid some of those properties for Paul Cheng-Young. So we want people to follow the history. So then, Nigel Clark, the Minister of Finance, came in. He did not call out FSC, but he protect the status quo of the criminality that is taking place in SSL. Nigel Clark protects it. Why Nigel Clark protects it? We know that the FSC president at the time, right, or the person who in charge, right, had sent a report to Nigel Clark. Nigel Clark acted as if he didn't get the report. As a matter of fact, Nigel Clark lied about the report. And then after pressure meet him, he came out a couple of days after and said he found the report among some other papers. Can you imagine, people? Can you imagine a seriousness like this? And all of that report just caught up into some paper. Anyway, we are moving on. So then when we tried it, we realize, right, of course, why Nigel Clark, right, would have wanted to protect, right, SSL, being to the fact that SSL have all of these wrongdoing. Nigel Clark could have stepped in and locked down SSL, right, and save many people, right, from the dilemma that they are facing right now. Nigel Clark single-handedly could stop it, but Nigel Clark did not stop it. So then the FSC had given SSL, right, time to correct their behavior. Guess what? The FSC didn't follow up. Nigel Clark didn't follow up. And obviously, Andrew Holness is not going to follow up because Andrew Holness in a SSL. So he's not going to follow up. Right? Now, people need to understand that the Minister of Finance would have been reporting, you understand, matters of these to the Prime Minister. So Nigel Clark and Andrew Holness very much cognizant of what, you understand, was unfolding with SSL. Very cognizant. Now, the thing is, what happened in 2021 was to the fact that at that particular year, board account was going to reach maturity. So then board wants some money now. But I mean, Gene and Panton, being board wealth advisor, knowing very well that, okay, 2021, board account is mature, reach maturity, right? And some money need to be paid out as it relates to return on investment, right? Because they continue to show board the lie that, you know, his profile account was generating return on investment. Doing that, they were cooking two books, right? So what they were showing both, right, was definitely a lie, right? Because the actual account doesn't bear that, right? SSL was actually moving away the money. What people need to understand, the large volume of cash that involved in SSL, over $4 billion. Everybody in the world knows that Gene and Panton cannot move it. Allah not tell when
cannot move.
Exactly.
But it's not a bank neither, you know. And remember, she's not working in the financial department. She's a what? I think it's a consultant, right?
Wealth advisor.
Wealth advisor. So then
these things she worked with him on 25 years.
Yes.
Until I forgot to do it. Me that side eye, the ego that side eye. And this and I catch his bullying word too.
Yes.
Them wicked. Them evil to that man. Very
yes.
evil. Yeah.
But one of the wickedness that I want people to focus on, right, as it relates to SSL, as it relates to Nigel Clark, as it relates to Andrew Holness. Here is what we call the ultimate evil. Andrew Holness knew very well that SSL was misappropriating money. I am going to ask Andrew Holness a question tonight, and I'm going to ask Nigel Clark a question tonight. So Andrew Clark, so Andrew Holness and Nigel Clark, we know that you know about the report that SSL was misappropriating client funds. With all of that knowledge that you have known, both you and Nigel Clark, my question to you tonight, because nobody has now asked you, Mystic Sensation is going to ask you this question. Since you have that information, and you're aware that SSL is misappropriating, right, clients' funds, why did you take the NIS money, the ed tax money, the pension fund money, right, and put it into SSL, knowing
NHT too.
NHT,
Yes, and the fund from the tourist announcement
yes,
fund.
exactly, knowing very well, Andrew Holness, Nigel Clark, right? I don't know how IMF is going to manage you up there, but I want you to answer this question. Nigel Clark, Andrew Holness, you were cognizant of the information that SSL was misappropriating funds. There was no following up on SSL as it relates to the breaches from 2016. Nigel Clark did not follow up on those situations when he took over in 2018, come into the politics as Minister of Finance, right? Andrew Holness, you have the report because Adli Shah would have been reporting to you. Adli Shah would have been reporting all these anomalies to you. So then my question to you, sir, knowing all these anomalies, why would you put the NIS money, the ed tax money? You know, when I look on this way, when I look on this, I can see every reason why Andrew Holness is trying his endeavor best to make such a bonehead move, which Andrew Holness knows that the court is not going to allow it. Now, why you want the court not to stop Finn to investigate?
Don't move. Now I'll play something with Andrew again now, right? In 2021, you remember moving money, yes, then put the money in an account from SSL. You see it arrow. And you see it right?
Yeah.
We'll play this in 2023 when the thing come down. The Prime Minister of Jamaica, I mean the people them know say him that for wait and him have to get a hold of the thing to find out say it's right before him could have speak. And then him attack the people them. Just listen here. Not our word. This is how the man lie. And the man wicked. That time him get the money every day, you know. Him get the part him get over 200,000 US from SSL in 2021, right?
Yes.
Him get the money there, right? Him gone over that. Look here, when I said this in 2023. When you see it again, listen, watch out.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has hit back at critics over the time he took to comment on the multi-million-dollar fraud at Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL. For almost 2 weeks, the fraud has dominated headlines locally and across global media. But Mr. Holness said he only wanted to address the matter when he had received the facts. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has been facing back.
People, 2023, him said him not talk for 2 weeks because they never have the facts. That time him collect the money from 2021. Want to see where we go?
Yes.
Remember we have the problem, you know.
The facts,
2023 when it does pull. Here all this stuff wicked and lie.
the facts never have to hold our head there, man.
Yeah, but the man lie no. What catching for the one lie no. Then for listen now.
Backlash for his delay in commenting on the fraud case involving over 40 investors, including Sprint legend Usain Bolt. The opposition and other quarters of society have questioned whether or not the delayed response was in a bid to cover up information. But Mr. Holness says not so.
There was this query as to why I didn't jump out with a statement immediately. It's simply because I have a duty that when I speak, the information that I provide must be unassailable. And that means you have to take time to verify. But
you have to verify something when you have the money in your account from 2020. This is how the man line up. So I never know what going on in a SSL then, 2023. So I'm a verify. That time them collect the money already. This man forgot prison. This man forgot prison. I like this thing, you know. Him dangerous. Continue up with him lie. And by the way, I want to listen him keenly also. Him not talk about the investment company, him a talk the bank. Listen good.
We saw in the interim that some persons had a field day with misinformation. And I
Him say people have feel that I'm not giving misinformation. You describe it, kid. Continue.
wonder what was the motive for that. It was almost gleeful celebration.
The Prime Minister, like his Finance Minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, is adamant that those who are implicated in the fraud case must be brought to book. He says an example must be set that crimes of this nature are not accepted in the country.
The government will not socialize any debt, and we will not socialize the failure of our banks to be prudential.
Hold it there, sir. When you just say, when you just tell the whole world. Remember, SSL is a bank, brother?
No.
Yeah, that him not attack SSL, you know. Him straight, and I know they reporter them, nobody not asking the journalists.
But what did Nigel Clark say on that report? The person that are involved in this supposed to brought to the books.
That's right, we know. But yeah, when tell the remember SSL is not a bank. Yeah, where must say no, him not bail out no bank. We never have a bank for bail out. SSL we are deal with. Listen him again. Listen here.
In the country.
The government will not socialize any debt, and we will not socialize the failure of our banks to be prudential and to protect their customers.
So, people, Jamaica, listen. I never a bank I do this at SSL. You know, SSL is a bank, sir.
No, sir.
So, I'm going to talk about to protect customer and bank. Remember, play it again. This is how him does chat and try to treat people with him lies. He might talk like it's a bank now. It wasn't a bank.
An example must be set that crimes of this nature are not accepted in the country.
The government will not socialize any debt, and we will not socialize the failure of our banks to be prudential and to protect their customers.
So, whose bank? So, hey, go outside. Go outside.
A fiend bank you might talk about, man. A fiend bank that in alone.
So when
yeah, but you know, in terms it as fiend bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's arrow.
Yeah. But this is the showing, you know, it's like how wicked and devious this brother is. This brother is high school. All along, this brother knows that him crash the institution, you know. Him crash it, you know. Him take out the whole of the money out of the thing and crash the thing. But the only thing I may have to ask the Jamaican people themselves, when them come round to the next general election, the question where you must ask them, why should I vote for you? Ask all your MPs, all the Labour Right MP, why should I vote for you? When your Prime Minister is involved in criminality and not one member from the Jamaica Labour Party can step out and say what the Prime Minister has done was wrong. Not one of them. It's a message that they're sending to Jamaica. So the Jamaican people must understand now and ask themselves, why should I vote for you when you are not protecting my interests? Because the Prime Minister caught red-handed stealing millions of dollars away from taxpayers. And not one member of the Jamaica Labour Party stand out and say what the Prime Minister has done is wrong. All of them, they're behind him and they shield him. So it is clear who no want a criminal organization, because this is a criminal organization, you know. Because we've been saying this from a long time, you know. And when we say it, you know, hold on my mouth and talk. You see what I mean? Things are come to roost now. 143,000 US come from the same SSL. Why I'm saying no know nothing about it. In an account where I'm take put on 0 down, and 2-3 weeks later, 100,000 US roll into that from SSL. And now them want to say them are going to court. To throw the IC report. Me I want to know, Me I want to know. Don't farm fool on yourself. One more term, Jamaica straight dictatorship. Judgment go take on. Now wise up and know one what do. And ask yourself, why should I vote for you when your prime minister involved in criminality and not one member from the Jamaica Labour Party can stand up and say, Mr. Prime Minister, you're wrong. Me can't support you. No leader no over there. The whole of them are the same thing. It is simple, it is clear. The people of sentence have spoken. And they send a serious message to Jamaica. $43,000 eligible voter. And the man couldn't pull out 5,000. The man then thief themselves. The man them have them one election. You know? I have a thief winning. Oh, God. This serious, you know? This serious, you know? You run against yourself and you're a thief winning. You know what I want? The Prime Minister knew what was coming in. So he run with Ghana, India. Because Jamaica understand what is taking place. From the sack Marsha Summit, that's going to be a devastating blow to them. You know? Because the people them down, they don't agree with it. You know? And when them sack her, you know, and them say, listen what, by election. And from nomination day to the election day, the entire Jamaica Labour Party hierarchy was in sentence. You know, you want me say? The entire Jamaica Labour Party hierarchy and official were in sentence. Including the Prime Minister. And you only could have pulled out 4,800 and something vote. Sentence, send a message.
What this?
You don't see what going on. The entire administration, the entire hierarchy was in sentence. And combine the entire Jamaica Labour Party that down there could not pull out 5,000 votes for the Jamaica Labour Party. Who no seats of the people have sent and sent a serious message to Jamaica. Who no see what take place? My viewers and subscribers, read between the lines, man. The writing is on the wall. The ship is sinking. They are down and out. The Prime Minister couldn't take another punch in Ronagua, India, because he knows that when they come, because he was down there on the ground in sentence and they was not pleased. So he run away because he never want to be a part of this embarrassment. But you can't run because every day it gets worse. Every day it get worse. The longer you take to call it, brother, I wicked I they get. Me would have tell you if you just call it, brother. Just call it and go over with. Because the longer you take with it, brother, is the worse the thing is getting. My brothers, sentence send a serious message. You guys were watching, seeing the Prime Minister over there, the whole of them down there, Mackenzie, the whole of them, and ask yourself, the entire Jamaica Labour Party could not pull out 5,000 vote for Samuda. Man, that shit there, this shit gone down faster than Titanic.
For John Jacket.
Yeah, this shit gone down faster than Titanic. So the sacrifice, the mystic, Tuesday, Friday, sometime in come with a breaking story, lonesome every day, lied here and there,
Yes.
aromatic here and there, the rest of bloggers them.
Yeah, man.
Eh?
We have
the message is resonating.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the people now realize that what we are telling them is facts. It's not, as they say, propaganda and fictions and lies. Because when you get confirmation from an Integrity Commission report and showing that the Prime Minister start company when Jamaica, they go through them worst disaster in our history in the pandemic. 3 companies making millions while you're sucking out poor people. Yeah, say them break disaster risk management act. Bro, uno shit, bro. They go down faster and Titanic, bro. It no matter what you do. And you're a glass pole brown. Glass pole brown, let me tell you, man. Enough of pussy all you know have to go run out of Jamaica, you know. Enough of you know have to go run away, you know. Because you, them are get wicked and serious, you know, brother. You understand what I say? You have to win election. You not steal election. The people are tired. The people are done with you guys. Sentence. Make me laugh and rejoice in my heart. And say, this is a Jamaica Labour Party stronghold. It's like a Jamaica Labour Party garrison. And you couldn't pull out 5,000 out of 43,000 eligible voters. Come on, my brothers. Come on, my brothers. Eh? Unna see say over. Unna see say over. Eh? I rejoice, you know. I rejoice because my hard work they pay off. How I don't know.
True. Yeah.
Well, you know, last week I shared the same view, you know, as it related to this Jamaica Labour Party crumbling.
Yeah, man.
And I make reference to it crumbling to the fact that it will go out of existence.
Yeah, man, I think so too, man.
Now, I am under no illusion anymore as it relates to the Jamaican people, the electorate, so to speak. Having the knowledge that they should not vote for this Jamaica Labour Party.
You're right.
Anymore. Because this election, by-election, you know, in St. Ann, is just a sample size of the magnitude of how the Jamaica Labour Party has deteriorated.
Yes, man.
within the last 2 years. When you look at 40,000 eligible voters and a man having a walkover race, he's running against himself,
Yes.
and he cannot pull 5,000 of that 40 plus thousand eligible voter. It is saying something.
The writing is on the wall, my brother.
Yes, and the extravagant campaign and exorbitant amount of money that was waste on this
Lavish.
by-election. Over $100 million was thrown away. Because
Yes.
Andrew Holness has always crafted and mastermind a lot of strategic plan within the governance of Jamaica as to how he wants to govern Jamaica with this dictatorship strong arm portfolio.
Sure.
So when he got rid of Marsha Smith, that was just to open up a wound. But lucky, the wound that him open up is a wound that damage him right now.
Big time.
Damage him. Because the people does not want drunk or jacket down there.
No, sir, they don't want him, man.
They don't even know where this drunk or jacket pitch from. You understand? The people had a representative that they choose, that the prime minister out of the blue decide to discard the people's choice.
Exactly.
Because he want to mastermind a platform around him that can carry out his dirty work as it relates to a lot of PR all over the place.
Exactly.
Some yes man, some loony, he want around him. So we are seeing it playing out in front of our eyes. And I sure know that the hierarchies within the Jamaica Labour Party are very disheartened and disgruntled as to the low turnout vote out when them have down in a sentence there. You understand? Because as I said, that is just a sample size. Them go and lose the general election in a landslide fashion. Wipe out completely.
Yeah, man.
I don't even think them can get 3 seats, you know.
All right, they say if it's 3, you give them enough.
I don't even think them can get 3 seats.
Enough to that.
And when I say that, I'm trying to be a realist. I try to single out a few seats, you know, where I know comes what me, them are gonna hold on to them like bushrat thing there. Yeah. Him run at the Prime Minister region, I'm not sure if he win that, you know. We can't tell him that. Because when the people have spoken, all around the voice have reverberate and everyone listen to each other.
Sure.
It's the common consensus in the street that the Prime Minister is a criminal.
Yes, man.
Absolute criminal. From day one. As I keep saying, I don't think he has ever entered into politics to serve as a representative for the people who elected. His mode of operandus was to go in there for wealth, exorbitant amount of wealth.
True.
And he had the blueprint up his sleeve long time. And the first chance he get, him use it. Yeah, and him realize, so well, then he was not being, you know, brought into the spotlight. So he continued.
Exactly.
And that is one of the reasons why he called the election in the pandemic. because he wanted to extend this period to continue to rob Jamaica.
Yes.
He got what he wished.
You're right.
Yeah. He got what he wished.
You're right. It's
but
the same.
now it's time to pay back. So what the fuss all about? With you now coming out and blaming Integrity Commission for not being independent in the way, the report was constructed, and it's as if they were having conversation with people. No, they weren't having any conversation with no one. They were listening to what people were saying and acting on their own initiative. But the views was in the street. Everyone is now using social media. We are on social media. We are the main advocate of this illicit enrichment corruption case, because we don't ease up. So it reverberates and it amplifies right around the place, and everybody catch on to it. So when you say Andrew Holness and the minions, they was trying to muzzle social media activists, it's because him know this go come and him never want, everybody to have him name a drag in the gutter. So him try to put a muzzle on the people them and try to scare them with some bully tactics. But one platform him could never even try to even have a semblance of anything to do with is this platform. Him can't come around here so come stop nothing. So we make sure him have clear understanding. Time to pack your bag and go.
Simple.
Your time is up. The people are fed up. A baby once told you, say if you ease yourself. You know you was a 9 hours. She couldn't take no more of you. And that is something very, very significant when a baby get tired of the leader of the country. You understand? And everybody is tired of your leadership. Because your leadership is all about taking away Jamaican wealth for your own purposes. And a few of your minions. And I sure know that the entire Jamaica Labour Party will defunct after the next general election. And I say it without any reservation. They're not coming back, not in my time. This Jamaica Liard Party, where all the membership them know if you do, is still lie, starting from the head buckle washer, which is the Prime Minister. They are a bunch of pathological liars. They tell life wants, they tell life needs. There are some people that you cannot even go around them. The disease will catch you. Them full of fight, them worse than the pandemic. Oh, you can have a Prime Minister being asked a question as it relates to him and member of his cabinet being under investigation, and him categorically deny it and say he's not aware. He's not aware of himself and members within his party. But not far down the line, the revelation has come to fruition, and he's now running all over the place. He's hiding from Jamaica. Yeah. He ran out of Jamaica willy-nilly. That wasn't a planned delegation to India. That was a hurry come up, cook up something. You know, like when you're hungry and you're there and you run a boat, a quick boat, and you drive some dirty girl and flour. Or something like that. And it's only one individual where me, have some compassion for a Chris Gill, But Crampy, you have to get wise, You swear the man do it bolt, The man say every ghetto youth is a star. But remember, the star where I talk about and the one where we shine. And one where it becomes dark. No light. Right now, I'm like have some about light, you know. Cut a whole heap of bolt outreach. And if you make him have your own, you know, Chris Gale, he might go do the same thing to you. Because you're not an ambassador. If he wanted you to be on a delegation party to India, after you retire, what him should do, fast track you like him fast track drunk or jack it into the seat on a sentence and turn you into an ambassador. Then we could have said, well, fair enough, he's going along with an ambassador. But what he has done is try to seek, well, I don't want to call it political asylum in our next man country. Look like a refugee machine. You understand? But then you have well, I know you have a term to ask yourself if it's a farm work, ticket him fly out pan car. We see him at the farming down there plant tree. Yes. And you the tree where my plant. In my plant a tree at the first we know say that they have a tree named Chopper.
And to what this man can't tap a tree, but them give things, man at this and get things to go plant. And you can go plant.
You know, a country with nearly 1.5 billion people.
Like
take up you as the head of state for your country, Jamaica. A powerful island like Jamaica. Where have so much.
Hold on, answer me. What man they say now do to US? When am I
right, him not crawl upon him knee.
I want to know ganga plant tree. Him not crawl upon female, but I want to ganga plant tree and water tree.
Yeah.
I say my prime minister, he may bow for anything.
Anything. They not see it, man. You see it.
1.4 billion people in one place. And wait till when you come 3/4 way around the world. And when you look at the east, you spear, you go dig and plant that tree, then take a picture with you. Like you either. May I tell the man?
And I'm suit at that.
Come on, tree, man, you can't do with this.
Indian have a groundbreaking, but a favorite prime minister they plant the tree.
Yeah.
The man
but I want less me want him learn from all of this. Is that none of the Indian official never cut no ribbon?
You could get them down at Jamaica better watch out, you know, because they're going to lose and work because the prime minister.
Yeah, we come back for it. No, what you want me now? You want me now, Arrow? Arrow panel, you want me now? Him can't get none of the man them work down there because straight prison for him, you know. Marky G now, hey, yo, let me tell you this, you know. You see the amount of lawyers around Marky G, have them at Trimble. You know, see the latest edition. I sat Buchanan. So you know.
Don't move though. This is New York. In New York. I'm just showing it here. Remember just say them says our son is a New York Caribbean thing, but it's a New York. One of them up there for things. You can't see it, right? See that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where that's it, yes.
It's a talk about him behavior, man, with the money, man, and the criticism where my layout pan integrity commission. In that report, him not say the IC never act independent.
Sometimes I call them people, but it's a
you understand? That him I say, no. Because him a beg for mercy, but there's no mercy for the merciless.
I know.
Because he's a hey, this guy I know.
Read us alive.
All right, send Jamaica Prime Minister Andrew Holness under growing pressure about finances.
See, there's suspicious financial activity.
Right.
You see it?
Yeah.
You might feel right, boy, you're the prime minister, and then you're going to turn yard boy, you're going to plant tree. And all kind of things. You're gardener, sir. Man,
this man
don't work on need to nobody, but you going to plant tree in India. Eh? But I say I'm still a long time, you know. He make Trump call him already when they put him on exit.
Yeah, I'm there at the exit door. A backbencher, man. It's only in Jamaica. It's only in Jamaica. I'm sure himself like him is this stalwart, you know. Outside of Jamaica, I'm like a gardener boy and backbencher there at the exit door. Well, if you have, you know, supreme leader of your country, sure.
Black man, I say, yo, if you fire anything, you open the door and keep. Like him a doorkeeper.
But on a serious level, brother, because me never know, you know. So I am something really good sign up on a serious level. The man who held the highest office in a free country, regarded as our prime minister.
Yes.
Gone in our next man country, where we never hear this plan. It is no form of urgency between we and China, India, for you gone down there. And you gone down there and they take photo upside your plant tree. That not look good, brother.
No, it don't look good. It don't look good.
And then make him just not suit and
And if you notice, you know, if you notice, panel, you don't see like the Indian official them as a delegate team go meet him, you know. Them not sure you don't like that. Them show you him a plant a chopper tree. Them show you him a plant a chopper tree.
Chopper tree?
You understand? Yeah. Just take the M out of it, a chopper you get.
Look what the man did go to hold this so. Look what the man doing in his suit.
Hey, Arrow, you never know say that chopper tree plant. See, take out the M out of it. CHAPA. Just take the M out of it. A chopper you get.
She's right.
So you know, say as long as that and them tree that can grow up here 200-300 years. So you know, 200-300 years, that tree remind you of the chopper prime minister from Jamaica. Because them know about him. Because everything what we do reverberate around the place, you know. So everybody catch on to where I'm going with. Everybody know him style. Know so well then him you know, go on the whole heap of corruption at Jamaica as it relates to the finance department. Him rob the money from the country. So they all know. So him not have no credibility. He's a gardener boy. We see in him suit a plant and water a chopper tree. You understand? Yeah, because it always like we go on some overseas adventure with some business people, you know. So anytime you see heads of state with business people, you know it spell corruption. You understand? It spell corruption. You're supposed to leave with your one cabinet official. You select from that as the delegation to go overseas to represent your country. Under any form of overseas engagement, whether it's bilateral agreement or investment or sports, something like of that sort. But you can't let take up much our money, fly down all the way to flight you have to take for go to India. Because you come to London and you hold something go cross over there. Yeah? You take the Indian airline go cross. But when we look at tree you plant, chopper tree, but the man right to get a tree named chopper, man. A long time we are call you chopper and the man make sure no emphasize it. You plant a tree that gonna grow for maybe 200-300 years. With you as the man will plant the chopper tree. The first me I say chopper tree. People, this is not by coincidence, you know. This is by reality that for happen him go plant that chopper tree.
Hear this lady. I'm Byron. I want to engage in our quick to cutting yourself. Engage, you know. The admit. And the serious no Anjo. I'm want to engage in something. Why engage with you know to enough people? The Prime Minister never have a bank account for admit. But they transfer the asset. Or admit get these assets over $100 million worth of asset. If you have an account, all the money go in, or in fact, where you get the money from. By the way, the other three things when I'm open, them have account, you know, and money I run through it. But me still ask, admit by your house, so you never have a bank account. Who buy that place? Because you say Admat, but Admat, the company couldn't buy it because they didn't have no even have the bank up. Or you do the transaction, brother. Or you take in money and then transaction. No.
It have to be cash then loan some.
But but Admat itself, or remember you don't have account.
No cash now run through it, you know, Arrow.
So now
It's a holding company.
It's a holding company. Oh, you buy the things then in the name Admat. Who buy it? Or you buy it in the name Admat. Who buy it? Because Admat itself, you say the holding company, but it don't have an account where you bank the money and you write that check in an Admat. It never have account. So you're not supposed to have no checking or nothing. So what do? When you have some money and keep them there.
That's why loan sum. One just a second. Just a second loan sum. Just a second loan sum.
No, let me finish this. Him go up in 3 new company. 3. Yeah? 3. The one holding company, the one with call, the one where both negative media and the next one. All of them have bank account. Them have more than out of the whole 28 account. None of them the fiat man, not even one. We have
the original.
Or you get the things them are Admat value too much money, brother. I see when you ask him these things, who buy these things? Because you say Admat never account, that's why. But you still Admat deal with SSL and SSL transfer the money because Admat never account. So you buy things after SSL in behalf of Admat. I don't understand this. I pay criminality that me see right this. Yeah? You have a account, but you value over $100 million where you transfer to a next thing. You wind it up, but it never have a bank account, none at all. No account. It never have no workers. You can understand this mistake.
Well,
Prime Minister, he needs to explain this to me.
Yeah, that's why the first instance when Arrow said, so what was the instrument of payment? Arrow was speaking cash. Because if you go back to the original items that purchased via Admat, right? Remember that investigation would have done, and the reason that Andrew Holness stated as it relates to ascertaining those assets was that he gained it through mortgage. Well, investigation was done and there was no mortgage found.
None.
No mortgage found.
So that was brother.
Yeah,
But
so it goes back.
Again, brother. Let me ask again. You buy the lot, you buy everything. So me could buy something and say Admat buy it then.
Yeah.
All right.
And account. Then I rest of accounting out at the 28th, you know.
All right.
Yes. Money I move. Where Admat get all these money and these things from? Who buy it in the line of Admat? If I pose as Admat never write a check, them don't have a check up, them don't have a bank account, them don't have a check-in, and not all. So you buy it and then you say Admat buy it. More ask the receipt, them say Admat if a fee name or who depend it. So you are pay the cash and then you tell the people them say Admat a same company. That's illegal to you, brother. That's illegal.
Yeah.
Very all right, Wayne.
But
the question we ask, hold on the line. The question that Wayne asks as it relates to what is the instrument of payment that Admat would have used to purchase, right? Those
house.
So and as
that your answer this. How they make the money in the first place? Because them have account, them have nothing. Them have the workforce, them have nothing. But how them get that wet?
Okay, all right.
And then the baby them did smile when they was
hold on.
Yeah, them in them early teens. Early teens.
So,
than that.
All right. The only suspected source, and let me phrase this.
We know I'm grabbing them still, but we don't.
Yeah, let me phrase this properly. As it relates to my subjective opinion, the only suspected source where that appears to come from would have been the illegal warding of contracts.
Yeah, that's the original.
Again,
yeah.
So illegal warding of contract, but that I got to Andrew Holness. So credit it to ADMAT when you buy the thing.
Well, hold on.
ADMAT, you have account for you get that money, then you buy it, and then you put the ADMAT on it.
Okay, but hold on.
Thing around. But you have a company that have its own account and its own thing that you purchase a thing. So what happened to Andrew on this?
All right, well, what's this now, Wayne? Remember at the time when these contracts were awarding out, and this is why it is dangerous, it is extremely dangerous for Andrew Holness, because if you notice the Integrity Commission report, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing in terms of referencing, right, investigation beyond 2020.
Mm-hmm.
In the report that we have that created the bombshell partially just covered 2 years, which is 2020 and 2021.
So if we go down back, no worries, man.
Okay, that's why. All right. This is how now Phil is going to go back there. Where the Integrity Commission, because what the Integrity Commission investigators don't know, and they are very smart. Hear the smartness with this. The Integrity Commission know that Andrew Holness got off the illegal awarding of contract case with Gavin and them, and the amount of millions of dollars of contracts that awarded to Gavin. Right? Now, to me, let me say this. I'm going to say this here as it relates to Phil revelation. Might be we are going to get that, okay, these first original properties that were bought, right? I am just asking a question now, people. Is it a possibility that Gavin, they were actually purchased through Gavin, right, to disguise certain things? Certain movements of the money. You understand?
More than likely.
Property, let me know. But guess what? To me, it want to appear that these assets, you understand, may be paid for via cash, right? And so then you are not. That is one of the reasons why we're not seeing the mortgage.
Because
you're not seeing the mortgage registered in the system. There's no mortgage registered in the system.
Yeah, the lawyer, he might want to come up with some system and some check and some things to deal with that. And then them just put everything to ADMAT when them done. So me come up and buy something, and then put it in an ADMAT. Because ADMAT don't have nothing. So you have to understand these things. You couldn't move that amount of cash and just go give a man and all kind of things. That raise enough more red flag. You have to run it through something that means the man them money to feed them account somewhere through the 28th. And then they just push it and say ADMAT this, but ADMAT don't have an account. I remember Prime Minister and me said, you. That's why he said the 140 in the US.
143.
ADMAT
have millions of things. $1 million.
Yes. I am suspecting. Hear what I am suspecting. I am suspecting, really and truly, that there are more accounts connected to Andrew Holness that Andrew Holness not speaking about.
Of course, him lie, yes.
Phil is going to find those. Right? Phil is going to find those. Now, the thing about it, what people need to understand, that where the Integrity Commission stop is where Phil is going to go back right there, and right where the Integrity Commission stop is the source of funds. How did you get the money to purchase these things? So when Phil is going to go back there in terms of, asking, do the very same investigation, the Prime Minister still, you understand, has to answer as to where he get the money. Where did you get the money? I suspected that the source of funds that the Prime Minister get as it relates to his wealth came from a couple of sources. Let me tell you all my suspected sources that Andrew Holness wealth may amass. 1, illegal awarding of contracts. 2, SSL. 3, donations that was given in COVID time, and all of them things that money where, you understand, he converted it to his charity company and used those money for himself, because we have evidence of one of those instances. But could it be only one instant? No. That's why I am suspecting that the possibility exists where Andrew Holness may have other accounts that he has not fully, right, explained. And that's why you find it in the Integrity Commission report. You see the director of investigation is asking him, do you have any other accounts locally or internationally? Well, guess what? I get a little bird. I get a little birdie. I don't want to say. And honestly, I get a little birdie. That a little birdie, you understand, in the United States, right? A female. They might be managing Andrew Holness' financial affairs. Now, this is very serious enough, because if the birdie who is managing Andrew Holness' financial affairs, if it is true, and FID get the revelation of that, you know automatically Andrew Holness sink. Because the Integrity Commission investigators had given him sufficient time to speak the truth. And that's why when we look at the corruption prosecutor, in terms of how the corruption prosecutor rule, the corruption prosecutor rule in a very biased way. Because the corruption prosecutor should have looked to the fact that, okay, and his first addendum that he had done, he told a lie, and he has to utilize the correction to an addendum. So then, go back now to the second addendum. So when he told a lie the first time, the corruption prosecutor should have said, okay, all right, we would understand that, okay, all right, you may have made an error the first time, but the Integrity Commission had spoken to you as it relates to asking you if you remember, if you have any other accounts locally or internationally speaking, right? And you know, you did not explain in full detail. You understand, until what? Other accounts, right, have been discovered. And then when you look on the second time that you have to do a second addendum, right? Me as a corruption prosecutor cannot overlook Andrew Holness, because that goes to two things in law. Two things. It goes to what we call mens rea. It goes to what we call actus reus. Mens rea simply means the mental framework of the person, right? The mindset of the person at the time. You understand? That means the person has intent. It goes to intent. So mens rea goes to intent. What was the intent? What was the intention behind you not, you know, revealing this account? Okay, all right. You say I make an error. We accept that for the first time. But after the Integrity Commission had spoken to you, you make you have to utilize a second addendum. So it seems like each time that the investigator speak to Andrew Holness lied to the investigator. Then the investigator have to go back to him and said, okay, all right, to say this, but this is what we have. And then now he tried to either correct it, or what may have happened is that when he told the investigator something, the person who the investigators question at the bank may have called Andrew Holness and said, listen, man, right? The investigators ask about this and this, you know, we tell them this and this, you know. So you need to correct this and this. You understand? I'm just saying, I'm not saying that that's how it is, right? The possibility in terms of those to addendum, the reason for the correction. Because you as a prime minister, you're going to tell me that, look, you have done what we call a workshop with the Integrity Commission. And the workshop, tell you about statutory declaration. What are the things that you need to file as it relates to assets, income, and liabilities, right? And you have done the workshop, and the workshop state that you need to speak truthfully on the statutory declaration. So you can't say you did not do the workshop. We have evidence that you have done the workshop. You have the knowledge. You have the awareness of everything that you need to when you are going to declare your statutory declaration. You need to be truthful on it. Yes. Can people forget certain things? Yes. People can forget certain things depending on circumstances and so forth and so forth. But what I'm saying here, as it relates to how the corruption prosecutor had ruled, right? The fact of the matter that he has to use repeated addendum, that is telling me that those lies were deliberate.
Make us say something to you now. Make us say something to all of the Titans, them.
Yeah.
My brother, them right us now. All right.
Yeah.
The same company, Admat, listen careful. Admat, with them saying that that's where fixed baby come, Patrick baby come, one people think say him that hide, but when them say him that hide from what, him have it done in a St. Lucia because
tax invasion, yeah.
Yes.
Tax invasion because they never have 1 cent. Him go just register there. All money they are in a Jamaica people. Every cent. You don't have a bank account to save money down there. You only have that down there. It's just a face card, right? Yeah. When him buy the things, him just put it in the name. And I don't get there. So it don't go look so every money is still there Jamaica. Yeah? Him never have an account in the name. I tell you because remember him come talk, you know. And him show you what go on. Him never inside this, I never have an account. But yes, it have hundreds of millions of dollars. Because when I buy a house, then I put it in the holding. You understand? I buy something else, I just put it in the name. So no money never in a St. Lucia in that name. You never have an account in that name. The money they right there. So if they lie, you know, if you get charged to that too, you know.
Hold on.
Yeah. We get charged to it, you know. But yeah. I see my tell people like right now I have 28 accounts and I know we not see one. They have 3 companies when they're swapping now, them have account. Them have US account and them have local account. Yeah. That they have account. But in transfer the things them now. So it's like me have my mother name and I buy something, I put it in my mother name.
Laundering.
I buy the next thing, I put it in the name. So I'm just putting the shell company name. And him say, mother, that's the way Patrick really going like him smart. Him not smart, him full of shit. Straight up. You understand? That's a criminal, Patrick Bailey, you know. Criminal. And I feel him liar that. So no money never there. So, and them never have the money like that. You notice? When them chop money, what you think real weed come do the same thing? Monkey see, monkey do. You can imagine, you are leave from a school. You're a teacher, you're a principal. Your name never mix up in a note yet. Can we run it? And you just be an advisor there, so. And as they move, you move. And you go back in there when you look, you start chop. You call your, I remember, look where I do it. He might do exact thing where him see. Me not ask. The woman I work with him and the brethren I drive with him, just swap in account and I feed them name. I write up them and feed them. And catch the woman and I'm wife. Because the woman come to them go fear, you know. Because after the police them see them go fear. She said, listen me, I know me, them have the car. Them car me, open it, me going to get 30,000. Them draw much million, me give them, me just sign, them just scam me sign and them take the car at the same time, sir. Me don't know nothing. Them leave the woman, them away to when she dead for that for the case. The man, that a real greed, they carry you can be criminal, then turn you in a criminal. He just turn criminal overnight. He might visit something and then slip up because he might not smooth criminal. I slip up in and he catch up on him, you know. But he see it. And you notice Andrew is a man that will up on people for you know why him secret go out and him will up on you and make sure say you not go to prison, you know, you're good. You not go to so them run out the clock. Patrick Bailey not go to prison because Patrick Bailey starting with this corruption. You know what I'm saying? Somebody lock him up. Yeah? The guy we call him Prince Sanjo. I know the police talk to him, catch his bullet it up there. I'll catch his bullet do, you know. That other one fix bail, you know. All him do, you know, is carry news to Big Mama, you know. When people talk to him, him release it to Big Mama. Because people talk to him one and hear Big Mama. You understand? So the whole of this was a scapegoat for trick people. Say, hey, him a tax evasion, so everybody jump on the tax. Me I said, oh, and him say never have a bank account. That means the money never left from Jamaica. You don't just transfer the thing, it's just in a name. You buy the house and buy the land, you put it in a name there. You understand? Remember, me have company too, you know, brother. You understand? But my company have checkbook and everything, it have its own account. See? But him not have no account. So what you do now, you have a holding account, Arrow. You have a holding, one of them holding thing like him or one of them shell company. You buy a house, you put it in the name. You buy something, you put it in the name. Even if it's Jamaica, you live there, so you put it in the name. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, which is right.
Here with you. Him who run him buy these things. Call them and say, he might try to invade tax. So I'm going to use it and when you look on it now, you see it registered down there. Nothing else never did with it. Him stay right there. That mean behind my bedroom, I say, I something for me now. Because I buy something and turn on damn thing.
I'm going to use this as a decoy.
Then decoy.
Well, that is why the Prime Minister down at St. Lucia get rid of it out of country. Because them realize we're going with this ADMAT. So them wind it up out of St. Lucia.
Yes.
Byron, you touched something a while ago, said the corruption prosecutor in the DPP office is very biased.
Yes. No, she's not the IC office.
In the IC, it's very biased. And, you know, when you commit a crime and you go in front of the judge, and sometimes when it's your first offense, the judge say, I'm going to put you upon a year bond over, you know. That means to say you have to walk a straight line. Because if you come back in front of me before this, I'm going to send you away.
Yeah.
How can that prosecutor lady let go Andrew of similar crime before, and then you let him go on this crime again?
Very good question. Very, very good question.
How can that happen?
So what you have seen there, Aaron, in terms of what you just said, very, very good question, right? As it relates to the pattern of behavior, because you're addressing the pattern of behavior with this judge dealing with Andrew. You understand, as it relates to the awarding of contract with Gavin.
Yes.
And where she said that, okay, it's too long.
Yes.
Process. And now you have a similar situation that automatically, in extension with that situation, now she's also giving him the break. That is a pattern developing where that don't move that pattern then. I could just put something else to that now. So she does super thing, Prince. She named Prince, right? She come in 2008. She don't work at St. Mary that she come in the same time with check when Pantan. The same Pantan by the chairman now for IC. Yes.
He was the DPP, you know.
Yeah, Pantan was the DPP.
He was the DPP, but him leave 2008 when Strike 5 came over. Then she joined Strike 5 as a little junior. And she leave there, so she did around 11 years. And that Strike 5, so you know, fear things set and fear mine and fear city. Coached by Strike 5. Yeah, DPP. And when them found that and that over there, then them get that job over there, so. So you see the link now?
Connection, man.
So when she let go Andrew come up with a thing like this. Can you see the thing going on? You remember that Zion thing there?
Yes, man. Yeah. Yes, man.
Big celebration. Big celebration.
But all this 7 day, man, I love Zion, so man.
You know what thing that quick power thing, man? See me, I come on. Zion. You know what my favorite one? Even them people, them should shame themselves, them that
But
got that disgrace.
you know, you want to ask the panel. Panel, you want to ask the question. Just a second, there, Father Lonesome. You want to ask the question. A prime minister can return in from overseas, you know, business, and then have this await upon him at the international airport back home. This is orchestrated.
Exactly, because him always do them thing. Anytime there's a report, I see or something bad go happen, just like the by-election now in overseas, because I know the judgment.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows. So watch him pattern. Anytime something go happen, he
Yeah, me
like
talk
gone
about.
overseas because he no want there, and he come, brother.
And then now, when he come back in, you have a whole heap of idiot people. when I have nothing to do, them jobless, them not have no home for them to take care of, and them there airport I wait upon him to sing Don't You Trouble Zion. Him should have be a goddamn shame of himself. Well, this time we not trouble you, this time we are hold you.
Hold him, man.
We are hold him this time. You understand? So you will feel like say the little corrupt people where you having in around you can't come up with a little time frame and say it elapsed. No, not now elapsed around you so again. The other thing I got elapse are you, because we are going to eclipse you from the sunlight to a dark place, a little cube.
Yeah.
Where if you barely see the real sunlight in that, I go when time you fly up, when I fly up time, yeah, you can see little light when I fly up time. Because your mode of apparatus is definitely a criminal. You worse than Al Capone and Jack the Ripper, man. Come on. Go through panel.
That's why me I tell you, man. That's why me I try to.
Yeah, man.
Because I'm saying there, yes, sir. I see the work of you guys.
Yes.
Me see the changes what it bring to the political landscape in Jamaica.
Yes.
Me see the accountability what platform like Lonesome, Mystic, myself, and all the others.
Yes.
Change. And I'm saying, if we believe in ourselves and the work that we are doing, and know that we are here to bring changes, why are we deflecting from the real cause and the problem of this administration and the leader and still concentrating on the opposition? Because we can see it. So the work is taking toll and it's bringing down this administration. So if I believe in my work and believe in myself, then I would know that the work that I'm doing is going to make Mark Golding one of the best prime minister Jamaica has ever seen.
True.
True.
Because platform like ours change the political landscape. Mark Golding said the thing change. And with people like we, him have to walk a straight line. Listen to me, the man is going to be one of the best prime minister Jamaica have ever seen.
You know, say arrow out here. So,
remember me tell you,
light out here, mystical.
You have to just watch the works that have been done, my brother. See the inroads, see the tear down of this administration. With facts, not fiction, you know, not lies, you know, but with facts, laying out to the people, weeks after weeks after weeks, days after days after days. You think Mark Golding not sit on one side and watch and see what going on? and see it's a social media. It's a new day for Jamaican politics going forward. Yo, the man is going to be one of the best prime minister and go and walk away from the great late Joshua. Because all what I need to do, is take the Joshua principle and the Joshua foundation, build it and add his own to it. Game over.
Yeah.
Because him now come for rob, him now come for thief. And one of the first thing he need to do, and make the Jamaican people them say, yes, we take you serious, is bangle 2 or 3 of them boy.
Me I tell you.
Bangle 2 or 3 of them boy. Jamaica need a thoroughly forensic audit from every department. Every department in a Jamaica. Because guess what? Some of them teacher they need to come back. Some of the good police them need to come back. Good soldier them need to come back. Good people them in general need to come back, brother. So we need back them money there. We set back the thing.
Yeah, man.
We can't make some people just walk away with billions and gone live in the sunset and peace. All is well. So that's one of the things Mark and him team have to make sure that some boy start with 1 or 2 or 3. No go just a wild goose chase. Start with 1 or 2 or 3 while you have the file and you give it to the Justice Department and say, listen me, anywhere the chip fall, that's where it lies.
Yeah.
And you go see what going to happen in a Jamaica. And that them a run from it. And that them and the Holness administration they run from where you see them they do everything because guess what? They cannot study the man. They cannot study the man. In a deeper talking and but anytime him come out, him punch hard. They don't know him next move. They don't know what him go do. So therefore, they might fight and they might try to do everything. For what? For this man not to come to power. Not for the goodness of Jamaica, but to continue their corruption. But I'm telling you, bro, us, because people say we are talking and people say, oh yeah man, you're PMP. Yes, I understand. Everybody have to be something. Because even if you say you're independent now, you were sitting before.
Hold on.
Before, so you know what I mean?
So when somebody say you're PMP, who is them? So them have a right to be labor right, but you can't be PMP?
Yes.
It's stupid.
Yes.
Them
Yes.
just go away. And then
you know what I mean?
If it was a JLP, no, you wouldn't be told to be a JLP right now because you no man, you that's a shame of yourself.
Well, me one lady pan a TikTok video, boy, me would like listen to something where she make sure the Prime Minister knows boy, she not in favor of him going. Why him tear down the place up? You can't run that for father alone, some. Please and thanks.
Which one?
The new one, man, we do man across the Prime Minister or him full him cry, man. Fully cry.
That one there, yes. She that cost the next one there with
the Prime Minister and the cost
She nice man, it fit him now, man. I want it bad, man. Yes. When name
Joy, no sir.
Dennis. Yes. But it's the Prime Minister that it fit one thing fit all, You understand?
Then Prime Minister, man, from full cry, mention I Prime Minister who full cry. I'm alone, me no full cry,
Yeah.
The man yam how you see mother and scratch worm.
Hey, me love this. Yeah, so I play the dark part for that. Mama, you my course, yes. Mama, you my next course, yes. Me laugh, Maybe hear something here. Maybe hear something.
I join select committee. You don't hear that,
Mr. President. You want to step into the fore. Mr. President, it is well known. No, it's not. It is well known, Mr. President, that we in the Senate and this side have independence. We never sign any undated letter. We are not like you who sign undated letter. We on this side
Yeah, I tell you
have the
something, Senator
capacity
Brown.
to say
Don't draw my tongue in here today.
No, I don't draw my tongue.
Because
Hey, open.
Yo. So hold on.
No, man, hey, Lambert, pick up yourself. Lambert, down.
Outside, man.
And this
outside
of independence. We never sign any undated letter. We are not like you who sign undated letter. We on this side
yeah, I tell you
have the
something, Senator
capacity
Brown.
to say
Don't draw my tongue in here today.
No, I don't draw my tongue.
Because
I
everybody
don't
know
draw
how
my
to
tongue.
reach over the...
But him no.
Dark pa say.
Dark pa draw, on dark pa alone can draw film tongue, man.
Man say yo, me a draw man tongue.
A dark pa draw him tongue, why am I mention that, man? Dark pa draw him tongue, you know. Cause you know, if you lay a careless dog, lick your tongue. So you know, dark pa draw film tongue.
It is well known, Mr. President, that we in the Senate and this side have independence. We never sign any undated letter. We are not like you who sign undated letter. We on this side
yeah, I tell you
have the
something, Senator
capacity
Brown.
to say
Don't draw my tongue in here today.
No, I don't draw my tongue.
Because everybody know how to reach over there. So don't bother try that with me. Don't try that with me in here.
I don't draw the tongue.
Don't try it.
But then what is appear disrespect? Appear this him always they get in because they look what the lady just diss him down a sentence, you know. You know see that a big diss lady diss him down a sentence. You know?
Hold on there. Bad girl Tiffy, where you going?
You could play the one that the man said, PNP will not go vote because we labor rights no vote. Play that one for me, please. I beg you. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. Cool. No, but I tell you now. I let's see one of you ask me for you now. Let me look for
Right, man.
That's a special request. Missy will drop the
Yeah, man, that a bite of the week, you know.
Yes, it's a bite of the week.
Yeah, man, that a bite of the week, man.
I'm gonna go feet there, car.
The one with dark paw father bite of the century that, cause me never know him want him tongue for drop.
I grieve, and they can't send this to me. I tell you, me tell you, me don't know. Me never expect this from you. Regardless of why you shouldn't do the Labour Party, this you're a fucking wicked man, and because of blood clot greed, you sit down there for blood clot 8 years, and you full of blood clot crowd.
I there's another for him car for you know. Like this.
Grieve, you baby, I grieve, and they can't send this to me. I tell you, me tell you, me don't know. Me never expect this from you. Regardless of why you shouldn't do the Labour Party, this you're a fucking wicked man, and because of blood clot greed, you sit down there for blood clot 8 years, and you full of blood clot crowd. You baby, I grieve, and they can't send this to me. I tell you, me tell you, me don't know. Me never expect this from you. Regardless of why you shouldn't do the Labour Party, this you're a fucking wicked man, and because of blood clot greed, you sit down there for blood clot 8 years, and you full of blood clot crowd. You understand? And and then this is where you do the party, and you do the MP.
Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Yes, good night, caller.
Show a Labour right.
All right, Labour right. Have a good night.
But I want to tell the PNP them, go out and vote because we Labour right not voting.
What is that, Labour right?
We Labour right not voting for Andrew back again. So I tell all comrades, go out and vote out this man here.
As much as we did at JLP and PNP, because of the 2 hours that they are running, you take it and you get the PNP, they might come and tell you, know. So you're fucking Labour, right? They tell you, baby, I agree.
Come on.
Yes, brother.
Let me get one more. Let me get one more with it. Hold on there. One more.
Well, I man said warning. For those who want to test Mark Golding and know that they cannot win. Lot of mercy. I man say, inna me going out and inna me coming in. One thing they on my mind, I just Mark Golding for win. And if God spare my life to see tomorrow morning, and me have the understanding, say me a go foreign. Me not go sit down in them plane. Me a sit on the wing with all my 2 foot. Them a swing and I say, Golding, you a king. So anything me say, uno say Mark Golding. From Kingston to Sparling.
Mark Golding.
From Mobile to St. Catherine.
Mark Golding.
Me is a die-hearted labor right, and me have to change up the thing. Cause right now me a go under too much suffering. Who me say fi run the country.
Mark Golding.
Certain man and him girlfriend, them gone with everything. So food and left for we don't have no salting. Who me say fi run Jamaica.
Mark Golding.
Skengdan, me want to talk to you. And me mean like live. Call me upon that number here, which is 215-3679. When you get the time, I make we discuss that through there. If you never mind, if you say
Mark Golding.
Who me say fi run Jamaica.
Mark Golding.
Well, I man said warning. For those who want to test Mark Golding and know that they cannot win. Lot of mercy. I man say, inna me going out and inna me coming in. One thing they on my mind, I just Mark Golding for win. And if God spare my life to see tomorrow morning, and me have the understanding, say me a go foreign. Me not go sit down in them plane. Me a sit on the wing with all my 2 foot. Them a swing and I say, Golding, you a king. So anything me say, uno say Mark Golding. From Kingston to Sparling.
Mark Golding.
From Mobile to St. Catherine.
Mark Golding.
Me is a die-hearted labor right, and me have to change up the thing. Cause right now me a go under too much suffering. Who me say fi run the country.
Mark Golding.
Certain man and him girlfriend, them gone with everything. So food and left for we don't have no salting. Who me say fi run Jamaica.
Mark Golding.
Skengdan, me want to talk to you. And me mean like live. Call me upon that number here, which is 215-3679. When you get the time, I make we discuss that through there. If you never mind, if you say
Mark Golding.
Who me say fi run Jamaica.
Mark Golding.
From Kingston to Sparling.
Mark Golding.
One thing I like with Mark Golding, him always do the right thing. He make sure born in a Jamaica and no born and no foreign. Who me say fi run Jamaica.
Mark Golding.
For the fat and the slim.
Mark Golding.
Mark Golding, you a king. Mark Golding. Who me
Send that to me, no, man.
The man say he was a die-hearted labor right and he have to switch. But because as
I saw you know say Marky G are the real diamond.
Yeah, we are one people, you know, bro.
Oh.
We are one people and a fee say a PMP alone they feel it, you know. We are Jamaican. Yeah. So the whole of we are feel it, brother. The whole of we are feel it. It hurt the whole of it. And it's only one set of people. They inherit all of the prosperity and all of the growth and all of the development. And when people are dying for hunger, 2 million people can't have a nutrition meal, you know. The only thing them on you know, rice, flour, chicken back, tin mackerel,
starchy
sugar
food,
and water.
starchy food.
You understand? Starchy food. Nothing. And you keep on telling the people that you balance budget. And now it's all about to balance the people in life. Bro, come on, man. Get real, brother. You understand? Stop sell the people them this garbage and this nonsense. You play with the people them life. Life you play with. And I take the people them for time, bro. Yeah. No, bro.
Arrow, you think him can ever come back and tell the people about, you soon see the growth. No, him can't come with that again. People want about you go see no growth, no prosperity. Him can't come back. Them don't have, I hear them up a sentence and make some speech with it. I mean, I tell you, I never know say man could have made such a dilapidated speech. This speech now have nothing to it. The whole of them are lagging tie. A grunt him ground there, a grunt. You understand? Me want to know how them man becomes politician. The man them can't talk. The man them not go do not more than just waste the people them time. I listen it and I don't hear one sensible line of word come because man a continue legacy to somebody who dead. You understand? Where the people want to see your input as a new man in the constituency. You know, if you come talk about Shiny Robinson thing, you know, if you come talk about nothing from way back when, come talk where you implement for the people.
But the thing about it, you know, you sabotage you sabotage your one MP to carry the next MP. Because the people them say, oh, Marsha name they do nothing. Remember, say Marsha can't do things by him own, you know. Marsha have to get things either from the local government or central government, which is the
Our
prime
central
minister.
government, yeah.
If you not give her, she can't do nothing, you know. So you don't see what them do. Them sabotage a girl for bringing this man. Them sabotage themselves for bringing this man, and that's a legacy. What legacy? There is no legacy, because if legacy when left there and things when unholding the ball, you say you go fix road, this road and that road have to fix by December. There was a contract signed between the prime minister before he laid the dead for some pipeline. It just released.
You know about him, make him say about him. Yeah.
Fixing the economy, placing the economy on a sustainable path. Within the next 2 to 3 years, every Jamaican is going to feel the benefit of that in some way. You're feeling it now.
Right.
You saw you talk outside, man. Running for
right.
2 to 3 year time, people are gonna feel it. Eh?
No, but him say them a feel it, you know.
Them yeah. But we him not understand. Him never another term round here for nobody feel nothing. I come them way where them can't say well then at him.
But the man said in another 2 or 3 years time,
3 years.
But him turn back and say, "Uno the feel
it now." Because him know true. Them a feel it now, of course. But when I make them know, say 2 to 3 year time, it's go worse.
I'm gonna play it back again.
Fixing the economy, placing the economy on a sustainable path. Within the next 2 to 3 years, every Jamaican is going to feel the benefit of that in some way. You're feeling it now. Fixing the economy.
So in my place it on a sustainable path. So the next 2 to 3 years. Remember next year election. But the next 2 years, you're gonna feel it by 3 years time, 2 or 3 years. That means next year, that means I'm say vote me in back, you know. And
that's
then you feel it. You feel it. Yeah. People buy toothpaste like how much money you have? $40 first slice of bread. One slice.
$20 squeeze.
Some girl with some pretty face when they pass and demand them to in a Jamaica now when they pass them, I feel come up them mouth and mouth girl because they have the toothpaste drunk out to dry with their mouth. I mean, know where my can you feel it? What drunk out dry with their mouth, them can't do it. When them chat and say, well, and that big bus on you.
It is right, man. It's ridiculous, bro. Half a cabbage, bro, for $500, bro.
Full in craft for 8 years.
Come on, man.
Hey.
Bro, it's tough.
Yeah,
bro. It's tough, man. And you not do nothing, you still come back with the same thing to fix the economy, and you're gonna see XYZ when life at risk, bro. People suffer. And you tell the people them the same garbage, and then the people then turn around now and hear and see for themselves. So you want what they tell you if you wait on this and that have 28 account. Move around 400 million. And you tell you say if you wait till the next 3 years.
No, but it is. Normal. You're driving a bus in a life.
It's not normal, man.
People are laughing about it. Hey, and driving, people are laughing about it. People are driving a bus, and then now gonna another them go. Where them kind of thing? Where them go campaign? Where them go? Where them half? People have to push them through window. 50 of themselves and save other people. Yeah,
be a bad bird. Be a bad bird, now, boss.
Them have to push them on if you catch breath. Everybody, and remember, everybody get a box. Because they don't have no toothpaste, they don't have no money to buy toothpaste.
Yeah.
Eh?
But you say,
you want to jump through the window. All kind of little things. I mean, hungry, I kill people are starving, all kind of thing, man say, yeah, I feel it. Of course, the people, them, I feel it. Man, wicked man. Say, man, I try
But-
to see.
But panel,
I'm not fool.
panel,
Yes.
panel, when you look on how fast Jamaica get mashed up under Holness, you know, it's ridiculously fast, you know. I tell you.
You're right, man.
Him drag down the country so fast that it catch some people unaware of what was happening around them. Couple years ago, a man could have buy a bread regardless of what. You could have still afford a toothpaste regardless of what. I talk about like 5 years ago. Even though the economy did still, you know, have a tedious problem with consumer. But consumers still could have do some little, but them can't do nothing now.
Yes.
This is how fast him bring down the country. Because when you're only taking out and you're not putting back nothing in, then it must become an empty space.
Have to.
You understand? And with the 1.7 trillion, you know, when you match that to the 2.3 trillion where we owe as international debt,
my money.
all we leave for pay back is 600 billion, you know.
Yeah, almost.
So the man them almost take away another set of money in comparison to what we owe.
Yes, man.
In foreign debt.
Yeah, man.
So this is why we know there's a lot more crab louse and lice and chink where we have to use the fine tooth comb and sieve them out and which part them suck and pan. Cause at them that you call parasite, you know.
You have to go use some gas style, dog.
anything arrow. But we have to get them out. We have to get them out. A whole heap of them that they a highland or some little root, you know. Whole heap of them. Because when you look on the 1.7 trillion we're going missing, you know, and Andrew alone involved in that, you know. Almost the entire government involved in that 1.7 trillion there.
All of them are benefits. That's why nobody knows.
Colonel Charles, you see him, make sure no I ain't going to him in a Morant Bay where him thief the land them, you know. It's like how them hang Paul Bogland, Jal with them around at them place. That to reach him.
No, tell him I tell like the other day about him back gun for Michael Manley. Colonel Charles almost 100 and we never hear that a story there from Colonel Charles. All of a sudden, Colonel Charles.
So when him do that, when Michael Manley a prime minister?
Him can't back no gun from Joshua card.
What other man do an interview over that station there? Because
Big Mama.
Because watch what they go on with Pernell, you know. Because the interview what I'm doing, you know, him do the interview for say boy, him had the lead, him had the leader quality in him, and him was one of the only man who stand up to Michael. If you notice Pernell, you know.
Yeah, man fling him in a gun coat.
Him out there they push a narrative, you know. Watch the Pernell boy in the race, you know.
Him now that the piece of garbage.
So the lie why him tell lie same back gun for Michael and
lie arrow.
Let me tell you why man say. I say, yo, this man are the lie of this thing, you know. The man say after him do that and Michael here say him a try for recruit man for union and this and that. Them send a man off of him. 2 man and him and him drive and him stop. And the man come up to him bumper and when the man come out, the 2 man come out with a gun and him run out. Listen, my friend, I say him run out, I can't let him driver. And he hear one of the man say, shoot him. And one of the next man say, why make you not shoot him? So him saying jump over one cliff where them dig out the backside 22 feet.
Jesus Christ. No, you know that
the man saying jump over the ditch where the backside drop out 22 feet, can go back there, go measure it and get up and run.
Man, too lie, man. I ain't them paying that up on my rat beer, man.
So that I try look a hype.
Monday, but not them time.
Him can't get the hype.
Monday alone, and then he want to can't back no go to Panama. The money lock him up to man. Lie, man. I'm lying, come on.
Hey, boy, hold on alone, some. I just touch that, you know. I would have to really tell a lie like this, because people want to know a man didn't put him a gun coat for. A gun coat, man didn't fling him now. This, you know.
Him put a back boy back gun from him to lie, brother, man. Go give back the people and go. Colonel Tuna say, you see him look cleaner there. The look cleaner, not a house cleaner, the cleaner. Same you see, because the two of them are cleaner, you know. You have 6. On the turn it up.
9.
I don't know why you want to feel this. Be careful of yourself. Stop with it. You and your father stop chatting of foolishness. You can stop turning it upside down. Stop it, man. Yeah? See, I belong.
So the cleaner take him to task, Wayne.
Eh?
The cleaner take him to task. I make sure demand something from him.
House, look at house. Yeah?
All right.
Yeah, man. You may know the cleaner, you know, because the cleaner up there, son, and the house of the bill, you understand? Look at.
And I build fast too.
Out there. And tell me what that's where I build it. Because remember, you know, me just show the house. You know the cleaner where you build, where the house I build for. You build it? It have to build fast, though. The cleaner
That build fast, man. Yeah, man.
Eh?
Cleaner need it quickly. Taxpayers' money, man. I remember you don't know them are criminal, you know. Taxpayers' money. Them boy not spend out of them pocket, you know.
Let's say cleaner need in one place and now forget cleaning.
Yeah.
No, the cleaner already, and you know the cleaner want to forget the house.
What, yeah, payment, I pay up time and pay fast.
The cleaner complain, you know. The cleaner for wife, you know. So the cleaner complain, and if it start losing ears, man stop losing mouth because the cleaner talk about it.
Yeah.
Him end up clean the cleaner said no, you know. So yeah, so that number that 66 don't turn one of them up. Yes, be careful of yourself. See? Yes. And your father will stop that foolishness, yeah? All right, you don't talk. Stop chat your foolishness. Hey, Titans. I'm going to want to watch a new fit because what she said, you know, I said, we have to do Titans before me go mash up my big ram. At the time when I'm picking a Titans.
Yes, right.
Well, that's how it go when we having a good time, you know, my brother.
Right.
So it go.
1 AM, maybe just run that one for the Titans, them when I watch it till it's done, you know. Because I just watch a one and just hear wait after Andrew 1 AM. 1 AM, the Titans, remember. We're locked on right now, brother. I bet they just go on, you know, just go down there. Yeah, you see, have some man on a GP. Just go look down there and yes. You understand? Spend look time down there, even 50. That I just be 102, you know, all like Michael when you come out, you're good. Yeah? But, you know, just try to book yourself down there, yeah?
Exactly.
Brothers and brothers, you know, watch this, brother.
All right.
Watch this. Wait, hold on there. Watch this, brother. I this soon for watch. That next time. Titans! No two way about it. 1 AM.
Start packing.
because you are going.
Well, put the pot up the man like a donkey to ask.
And that me I say, the man have some pressure there. Hey, not even the baggage carrier no carry so much baggage, you know.
Yeah.
I wish you did that to the donkey.
I'm gonna have a start, man. I want to lie the wickedest thing ever walk the earth in Angeles, you know.
Yes.
Yes. That's why I little thing I tell people, but remember you're a minister, you can't tell nobody and listen. You put out anything and I tell people, if you use this, you use what? People use what they want to use. You might have show you 10 years, if you get 10 years, and you can't stop nobody from use the one before neither. Let me just tell you. And then tell a liar, we say him to go lay an egg, man. He's my boss. See? He's a Jamaican boss, one of the turkey vulture. Kind of different boss, right?
But these people love talk about lawsuit. Why do they go into government? When you go into government, you know, you hope for scrutiny.
Of course. A public space. People are going to see you. People are here where you do.
I need for the order. No, the other day I'm going to court market thing and I said, well, not how you done everything this and that.
He said nothing is secret. He says nothing is secret around here.
When him go up a Pika. When him go up a Pika, I'm not say no secret. Him can't get anything up a Pika. So what now?
In winter take out that because them try it already. Blue pin will take up they turn it in a bedroom. Because most of who and put there, you know, all them do is go around and turn the place them in a bedroom, you know. And tell me what, them is not performer, you know. Them won't have strength now them tongue, you know.
Yeah.
Because them waist dead. Do man them complain, so when some blue pill guys, you know. You understand?
Yeah, which is right. This guy is so very hypocritical, you know, because I just what because I work commitment right now, busy like crazy, you know. So I see little things, I see ISAT. You know, I just understand a little panic. His candidate launches candidacy in Portland. And trust me, yo, bro, it's like them want bring down the youth to the worst way, bro. You know what I mean? Like, remember say man no kill nobody, you know, bro. Remember say their money ma try to make, you know, just like how the big boys them come in the other day at 12 billion, you know. Not 12 billion, bro. 12 billion it value, you know. But the big boys them come in with the other day, you know.
Yeah.
Understand what I say?
And let me say something to you. As far as if you mean by your own the politician them got Turks and Caicos and come with a bag of money and go to the court. Ask them who have the court down there. Ask them who now WikiLeaks and who mix up in them. Remember everything what the politician do I know, you know. Because remember you all wanna finish something for nobody know. And when you have some people running, them not like to you feed them. At the TITANS deal with brother good runners, so we have brothers runners.
Yes. Exactly.
Loyalty runners more than royalty.
Exactly.
Something for runners, a family runners.
It's tough, man.
Yes.
It's because when you look on it, you know, mistake and lied. What remember, you know, East Portland is a PMP territory, you know.
Yes.
It is a PMP territory. So you're gonna talk about morality and you're gonna talk about this and you're gonna talk about that. Where some people now remember, you know, say, yo, uno kill a man, you know. We get a by-election, you know, bro. A life uno take, you know.
Yeah, man, them murder Bloomfield, man.
We get a by-election, you know, forget that seat there, you know, bro. A life uno take, you know. Uno take Bloomfield life, you know, just to get to a runoff in a by-election, you know, bro. And the youth not do nothing more than the youth that try because that's so well we stay, you know, we are youth, we just
again, bro. Isaac, 17, no youth caught up, but him is an example. And this to show you that's why it's good for rehabilitation. Because him come be a top liar. Remember, you know, straight fight the day and I tongue drop out her head. If you follow the whole of them,
you may not see match up strike 5 at Privy Council.
Liar, them are not liar. Me not ask you. Champion, you are a party liar. Me no name from the Ocean or
A
something.
land more them, man.
Go pick up for them and when you look them talk about me, I tell them the money run. Me not ask you. See? So we know that liar don't get happy quashi liar. I be a links and them things. Because we know them movements in a better. See? I thought him got the highest level. So and him are the right man too. You can you imagine now him go through the system.
Right.
People that for 40 years in that enough, not all in a better. Him will fix that system. The system broken. You can't go, anybody can go to prison by the way. You cannot drive and you hit down somebody.
Exactly. Exactly.
In the people where you come out with them do. So you have your prison board. And you know what hurt me? The big boy them, no care them rape, no care them a pedophile, no care them rob, them sell drugs. Them never even go through a court system in Jamaica yet. That's why them live there. And the politicians and them fees them untouchable too. Them are germs.
Which is right. But you know the thing about it, Wayne, the thing about it, panelists.
Right. Because enough of them are chat. And when you look a girl dead from 90 down to the 80s, when the name no call.
Yeah, man.
People name call and when you look up them nearly 30 years and come out and say, my name call and me live. And you know, me just feel like to come talk now.
Confession good for the soul.
Your name right. Yes.
You know what? You know what I like? What I like about this candidacy? Every time this youth take the JLP to task in disbank them, the JLP now have no answer for him. I tell you, say, East Portland gone back in the corner of the People's National Party. Because remember, so we use badness too, you know. We know use badness. You understand what I say? So guess what? We know the game, we know the ropes. You understand? We know how I go on. East Portland gone, man. The brother you never lose to Jamaica Labour Party. Never lose in enough form of constitution. Him take on and him rip on apart. We choose a winner. One say on trim Damian. And say Colin Bella 1 bill and a Jamaica Labour Party. But guess what we carry too? No? We carry a constitution liar now we're going to try, you know, and putting you in on the right place.
Goddamn shame.
Yeah.
You get to that place and then rehabilitate and this now, you can't touch nothing more get to you. We are super granddad now, you know. So when we are talking, we can talk, yes, and we can talk to you, but it could be have a ice that we can reach the youth and say, we go through this. No pain, no go through one this, that means we can go study to and turn something in our life. And we salute him. A matter of fact, him not hide it, him talk about it, I him come talk about it, you know. Him do interview, him talk about it straight. And him straight say, hey, don't make them hold down. You know what the one Chuck say? A matter of fact, him does get rape and a murder at a house. Now, having me a son, I'm soon go run it tomorrow. The guy with them go cut ribbon about them at their house. Go check every man a raper, every man a gunman from up in a film constituency. Them two hypocritical, man.
But what the youth?
One other guy. Who did not care? No Babsy when a man dead side, one of them dead side.
Definitely.
Machine of the car. Hey, them two hypocritical. Who pay for do this? The $50,000.
Well, we all know.
Man at Philip
Prime Minister. The then Prime Minister. The then Prime Minister Bruce Golding. But it's one thing I can say, no.
Say?
And
when
you know,
anybody, well, see now for them take Azan, where you use a standard there with Andrew Holness now.
Yeah, you can't drop it.
It's black.
Yeah, you can't drop it. You have to use the same standard right across the board.
Man never do not that standard. So with the expert that Andrew no body. He might be thing where about there. They say if there was a snake, who tricky if that was Andrew Holness. Can't lie. Andrew Holness. He might be lie this thing wherever walk the face of the earth.
Big time.
Boy, it's one thing I know, Marky G pull off a master strokes when him carry ice at Buchanan over Portland because I tell you, you know, that is a master stroke.
Straight up.
Because it hurt them head, you know. Hurt them head.
Them poo-poo up. Them poo-poo up.
Mark my word, mistake. Mark my word, arrow. and lied. Mark my word. Them not know, you know, because you see through them are arms house. You have some people that say, yes, man, them, you know. You have Andrew Holness. Say if Andrew Holness can't something can move that me a party stop when the party stop. You make him mash up Andrew. One up and power when him can't one up and nobody not vote for him. Him can't treat nobody again with the lies and things. But they are not going away. Instead of going up and some two and things, I said, no, you let me tell you how we stay. So we lock up on you, desktop, you everything where you do we are facts check you. Because they lie bad. I will not allow him to treat the people. You remember I'm certain Thomas Road are the best road, you know, and it built with that kind of thing under the road. One day when you nearly join have a bag of people just now. It's not good. If you have so much parts in the road, you notice him stop talking about it. Because
a five generation him said that will last for
more than that, 100 years. Wait till that next year. You can't follow Andrew, no time out no real. Appear them do and then big mama now. Before the election, the man them spend 69.5 million plus the 30 million with them give the EOJ for run it. That just and then they spend 500,000. So it work out 100 million, right? 69 point of them say them a launch. One of them go down there, them a launch with Janko jacket at a Tompa Janko. It's a goddamn miss. You see 5 hours, the man have 1,800 votes. So them go down there and catch some old people reporting the people them have not teeth. When you look at the people that talk to them, they come like a turtle, one of them old turtle, but they now no teeth at all. These are the people them got to take out to go vote.
When?
Take out and feed them. You understand? And when you look them stuff backs to the back.
That are the thing. The
backs, the thief, them are thief.
The vote was not coming in. The vote when you see remember you know working door agent, you know. When we go in, now man, we go in and we check off. And at the end of the night, we check off, label, seal it, put on the padlock, seal the box, everything. When the door they open is when the car come with the police and you take the box and car go put straight in the car.
Yeah.
Straight in, not go up on ground. Straight in the vehicle. And the vehicle lead you and go on to the counting station.
That plan them have for them box there, man.
So
where see them put them on the ground, that plan them have for them box there.
Yeah. Plan over that.
So when them go stop it for make him look like him get 400, him get that one.
That I think, brother.
And it not on vibe, him get like 10%.
You said 5 when you say
Parliament,
5 hours, how much
10,000.
5 hours, how much voting get in the first 5 hours?
That's 1,800.
You know, say when you do the voting bank from in the early morning down. And at the end of the day, you know, the vote start bank up, you know. People going early.
Trickle down.
So as the day they proceed, it trickle down.
Yeah,
so when you 5
water.
hours, and I don't go 3 hours left. 5 hours, you know, and I don't go 3 hours left, and you're gone 18,000 votes. It is telling you something.
That them
brother.
with,
right.
Yeah, them padded.
After that, lie them at tell. And said him can't
Yeah.
What after 5 hours of voting? That's not right.
Man. Stop. Can't say my challenge himself for 10,000. Oh, you want to Tompa Janko. I'm going to tell Mrs. Jacket from the Observer. Don't follow your husband, Mrs. Jacket. Mrs. Jacket, you should know, it's going to say Mrs. Janko Jacket, Mrs. Jacket. Tell your husband, Janko Jacket, for bill. Go back to England still here. Anyway, I pick your time now. After the Titans do it, you know. Titans. Oh,
all right. Blessed love, man. Have a great week. Guys, continue to brave the fire. I'm absent and no work commitment, but I still watch and I still support everything. Yeah.
Well, Arrow, I'm going to say to you, you know, we will have you here when you 1 minute before the show close off. So better late than never, brother. Better late than never.
Yeah. Blessed man.
Yeah, man, again.
Them can't, let me tell you, no infiltration on us. This is the Titan. We run us a family, you know.
Yeah, man, which is right, man.
Yes.
Right, that's the thing, there, man. We not switching now, we not bow.
No, man, no.
Yeah.
Our thing
One
knit up
another.
together.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this, Andrew.
Which is right.
Yes, I know you can't penetrate when you're trying to kill what you do.
I know.
Yeah?
We not play with people over there.
Thanks. We out here.
Yes. Up full family.